Fair
Sha!
enough. But the other was
Sha!
Very good.
damn. Well played. I was like, what? You know, some people just wanted to see the tragedy just for the sake of seeing them all die horribly, and I'm like, wait a minute.
You did. That's why you
I
were
mean,
sad,
well,
though.
hang on now. See, I like a
I think
tragedy
Magnum's
story.
talking in the standpoint of like weebs like this game, and I want the weeb girls to die.
From my standpoint, the weebs are all the ones that are cringing and being mad about
It's a
being
little bit half
weebs.
and half, right?
Although
The
maybe
guys that, like-
weebs try to distance themselves from like Gundam fans, so it's just like nah, it's not weebs, it's just heckin' Gundam fans.
Well, they can be too, right? But instead of like waifus, their waifus are like, you know, it's the same as Setsuna's
Come on,
waifus.
please, Steppy.
Come on, please, Steppy is like the same kind that I'm talking about. I'm more saying like they're more like, you know, oh man, the Zaku 3, like that are more of what Magnum's referring to. Well, how many bullets does he have in that clip again?
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's that Vince McMahon meme? Falling over in his chair or something. Yeah, pretty much. They buffed the missiles.
Oh, you got the gun. Oh.
They fixed the typo in the lore for the barrage. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, the
Gasm.
game mock buff. The game mock. The game mock buff. Dude, for real though, the game mock buff.
The other one's over here like Dahlia does exactly what she needs to, which is nothing,
because she has
and
nothing
I was
to
never
do with robots.
Yeah, if my character could be bald, I would be okay because it's not a Gundam, okay, or a mobile suit.
I will say there was someone in my chat that immediately when we were talking about it was like, but also the mechanics, like if we just want to talk about the suits, they're pretty amazing. It's like, yeah, I know, we're not there yet.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Downtime in the Hangar, where we talk about all things GBO2 and Tangent. And today, we're going to be doing a special Code Fairy episode, because the whole thing's finally out. Yay! Today I'm joined by Gustav the 13th.
Yep.
And GamingEmblem.
Howdy.
So, Emblem, it's been a bit. What have you been doing? What's been going on? Playing stuff like that.
Nothing special. I mean, Super Robot Wars. I've been back on Battle Operation after my little 1 month hiatus for a little while now. But I can't really say I did anything too crazy. It was really just I finished up SRWGC before 30 came out. I'm still not done with Super Robot Wars 30. I think we're getting pretty close. They're doing some stuff that's almost kind of hinting that an end is potentially in sight. But I've still got a lot of work to do there. And I played a splash of Lost Judgment on stream. But besides that, I mean, I was really just playing a lot of catch up on Super Robot Wars, to be honest. That was about it.
That's fair.
Your week been, Gustav? It has been a week.
Yeah, more or less. It's been all right. Actually, my own bout with SRW has been a little rough because the scenario that I'm in for the Re-Earth Girls keeps crashing during certain like selections and stuff. So I might have to just dedicate a stream to brute forcing that scenario and just hoping that it gets better afterwards. We'll just
That's
have
rough.
to
I
see.
haven't had that problem.
Yeah, because like sometimes it happens during attacks. Other times it's when I go to the spirit menu and it'll just cold hard and like crash the desktop. So, but other than that, just been doing some finished up Code Fairy myself. Did a bunch of ranked and stuff over the weekend. I think for Gus, I ended up being third. Unfortunately, I couldn't hit first. And then I haven't seen the one for Ginny yet.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about ranked later. What was your highest score, like, as far as
It's like 1,000 and some change for one of the wins, so they weren't very high. The interesting thing is that I got 2 wins yesterday on Ginny, but because I didn't have too many top scores, and we'll talk about the split later, but those are actually like 800 or so instead of 1,000.
Definitely
but
interesting
other than
on the top score stuff.
Yeah, but other than that, just doing stuff for clans. It's been very GBO2 heavy this week. In fact, honestly, after this, we'll probably end up doing, maybe not today, but like maybe Monday or whatever, we'll end up doing the rest of hard mode for Code Fairy, which apparently that EX mission, when we get to that and talk about it later, that's going to be a pain in the ass. So looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, dude. When the OP hits, man, that's all I'm
No.
saying.
I mean, it is pretty cool, but you know what's also not cool? Being killed and having that be derailed to do it over again. So.
Hey, the funny thing is like when I got to that, I was like, okay, here we go. Oh my, this one's actually long. I shouldn't have ran at things. I might ought to actually cap a point and
Oh,
heal for
no.
once. I think you commented on that too. You're like, you can heal, right? I'm like,
Yeah, because you don't cap shit.
but
and
I
you
want
just kept
S.
staring at it like
I want to
no,
get
you
S.
just no, you just want your
if you
dick
heal,
chopped.
you lose. Okay, like it's
Yeah, no, I mean for
unspoken.
real though, if you heal on most of those, like you fail at getting S because like that
Oh,
one
well.
that I healed that one time with, like it was like, yo, you got a C because you took like 5,000 extra damage than your health. So
Man, you just gotta dodge more, bud.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know, right?
Dodge.
But so like I was I pretty much was like, okay, let's breathe. Okay, let's go.
Let me back in.
But yeah, was that pretty much your week?
Yeah.
And then for me, I've been doing too much Tarkov.
A lot of Tarkov.
A lot of Tarkov. Too much
I've been
Tarkov.
seeing this man every other time that I either raid him or check on his channel. That man is like at 3 a.m, just balls deep in Tarkov.
I don't know
And
what you're talking
true
about.
Tarkovian.
Like really, what happened? Like, it was like Banner Night, Tarkov. Oh crap! It's Banner Night. I meant to swap over like an hour ago. Whoops.
Uh-oh.
Hey Gustav, Emblem, how's it going? Yeah, come in for one game. Okay, see you guys. I'm gonna go. You guys go do Code Fairy. I'm gonna go also do Code Fairy here in a minute. Let's play a game or two.
Immediately did fucking Tarkov.
Hey,
I know,
I
like,
could
I
deal
noticed
with.
on the
Yeah,
day it
I
dropped.
could-
raided no, because I raided into him, and I was like, he's in Code Fairy. He's been going for a minute. He might be ending soon. And I get there, and he's like in the opening scene for the first scenario of Volume 3. I'm like, did you just start? How?
I might have played a couple of GBO games and went straight into Tarkov again.
Oh my god.
And then finally I was like, oh yeah, it's like 3 a.m. I need to go ahead and get started if I can go to bed by like the sun coming up.
That'd be good.
And then so I went and played Code Fairy, and that's pretty much been it since then. Really, that's the main stuff and things. Other than that, more Tarkov and like there's Path of Exile things coming out and stuff. Yeah, I'm just trying to too many games. Also, need to get to like Endwalker at some point even, but and now I got Pokemon.
Yeah, I've been
working
hearing a lot
again.
about that.
My BlueStacks died, so I had to
Oh.
like redo everything with that.
Oh, that's kind of rough.
Oh, I also played Halo Infinite. That was actually quite a bit of fun. I placed Plat 1 for my placement. So I don't know what that means exactly. I remember somebody like saying there's Diamond and there's I think something after that. That's the Obsidian or something, Onyx, whatever. But it's something random like that. After Diamond. But and I've been doing some more Monster Hunter World again, trying to beat the last two bosses that I never made it to because they just came out after I was moving on. Oh, and then we all played Crab Game. That was a thing.
Yeah, Crab Game was fun.
Yeah. Gotta
get that jump.
Just gotta level up. Yeah, we gotta level up so we don't get free farmed again. But gotta work on my FPS skills.
Hey, I got one win. I just can't. I can't jump, but I can do that sideways jump thing. Can't jump forward. I don't know what it is about those little plates. Every time I'm like the path was. I could have got a second win, but the path was laid out. Everybody already failed, and the guy in front of me failed on the last one. So I knew what it was. I just couldn't jump. I was like, oh.
Like,
just
well,
jump,
damn.
Magnum.
Yeah, just gotta hit the space bar, I guess. But and then there was that other one where I just went through the thing instead of paying it, where I didn't pay attention to the order. And then I think you were like, "Well, Magnum's got it," and I was just like, "Jump left. What are you doing?"
Throw, got it. All right.
Yeah, big throw. But anyway, but yeah, Code Fairy things. Let's go ahead and get into it. So what, like, I guess where should we start here on this?
I mean, unless you're gonna give an entire premise, just general impressions.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, real quick. I should have said this first. First thing, there will be spoilers in here at this part for Code Fairy. Will be
Massive spoilers.
Like, probably should have said this early on, but you have been warned. If there's spoilers here, then entered this section of the video at your own risk. There you go. Spoilers.
There it is.
Yeah.
Now, with that out of the way, I can't believe Alma died.
Oh my
no!
God. Impossible.
Alma doesn't die.
I wish that happened.
I'm glad it didn't. I'd have been so
if
sad.
it was a tragedy story, I would have, like, 10 out of 10, man. I love tragedy stories.
Man. You see how fluffy and waifu this whole game was, and then it's all of a sudden it's like killing people.
That's exactly what Magnum doesn't like, though.
Like if that's the parts of the game that I don't like about it.
So
like
Magnum is
episode 11.
Two things, if nothing else. He is toxic and also masochistic.
Whoa! Hang on now.
Which means everything else must be miserable and dark and gray.
Hang on.
Yes.
A video game.
You do play the
video game
Barrage,
masochist. I don't know what you're talking about. I do. Oof.
This is true.
Yeah, I went through ranked on support most of the time.
You are a better man than I.
Hey, I will say real talk, the entire time that I was seeing like the way that Volume 3 was going, I was like, yeah, Magnum's not gonna be happy with the story. He's like, nah.
Yeah, it gave me hope at the end of Volume 2 and then stripped it away a little bit.
Yep.
I mean, there at the end, I thought at least one person was gonna die, or at least like Gilly would die or something. But no. But like the I don't know. It gave me hope that there could have been a tragedy thing there at the end with Alma, and I was like, oh, we're gonna get like 9 out of 10 story here at least. Come on, my body is ready. But
really, I like this story.
Well, I mean, like,
yeah, it's good.
It's good, but like, what I'm saying is like, I loved, like, you know, you look.
You
at,
just
like,
wanted it to be Halo Reach
from or Reach. Yeah, sure, we'll go with Reach.
You just wanted it to be Reach. That's like, what everyone wanted, because it's like, oh, this is the Earth campaign. Oh, we're following the Xeon folks. Oh no, they should get wiped out and barely make it into space, or several people are probably gonna die. Nope.
See, I was talking more like Zack from Final Fantasy, like that whole story, man. Like they're fighting as many like.
I mean, that's pretty much obscured now too because of remake, but you know, that's a different thing.
Yeah, what do you mean? Zack's alive.
Oh, the spoilers for that, I guess.
Yeah, we're spoiling and everything. Sorry, guys. If you haven't played remake yet, go check it out. It's an amazing game.
It's vague still. It's mostly because of the person working on it. So you know, don't worry about it. It might
who knows?
Be that there's a bunch of branching shit, but that'll essentially just
next.
Just some sort of bad end shit, and no bad end shit happened.
But I don't know. There was some bad end stuff for me. Like you know, personally, my favorite angry raid main mellowed out. It was very unfortunate. Lilith was supposed to be our the raid representative of Code Fairy. And she chills out at the end. She did too many morning runs.
She turns into a general.
Yeah, Heckenberry.
Oh, he converted her to a general player.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, you know it was all done when she tied her hair back and she was all calm and shit. Like, oh man.
Then
as
got
a
replaced
soldier
with the dude that just shows up in the last volume. That was
some slimy bitch.
That was weird, yeah, like.
That guy sucks. Like,
I guess we're talking about story. I'm gonna go ahead and story.
What was
Under
his
the thing
name?
here. I don't know. Some character that was more important than the
Oh,
fellow riders.
Renato. Yeah.
More important than the White Rider and the Black Rider. Like what?
Yeah, who got generic character names? Like they didn't even
Like
have
Fang
names.
Red Shirt 1 and Fang Red Shirt 2.
I
Like
thought that was pretty funny.
Like
Like, I remember we
what?
were doing a mission. I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to find out who pilots the riders." And it's like,
Yeah, everyone's like, man, it's gonna be
Black
like
Dog
Killy,
A and
or
B.
like
I'm
they were
like, "Oh,
constantly
okay."
guessing, like, oh yeah, there's gonna be like a double agent, or it's gonna be like Killy or Barb or something
Yeah,
crazy. It's
like
like,
that
no,
was I was like tinfoil hatting like, "Oh my gosh, Sleepy Fairy. Okay. Killy, they're experimenting. These suits look crazy. Okay, awesome. They're actually here testing them and blah blah blah." And you know, no, they're just a couple of red shirts suits that were way overpowered for what the like what? Like have you even did you guys even try them out like afterwards? Like the support, the White Rider is uh like it is disgusting for a support suit. Like it has shock
White Rider
dampener,
seems pretty cool.
a dodge
Like,
roll, or double dodge roll. Once you
that's a
pop Hades,
situational dodge
once
roll,
you pop
okay? If they
Hades
activate
though,
Hades.
I mean you can just pop it though. You're just like, man, I got 2 dodge rolls now. But you've got shock dampener. You've got the Unit 4's full charge, the BST Unit 4 full charge, and just a point and shoot and destroy something every 20 seconds.
You think you have to charge that if they put it into battle op?
I'm
probably.
assuming it'll be the Unit 4 BST with no shock dampener and like no
Yeah,
skills if
so
they put it in.
shittier.
Yeah, but like I'm curious to see if they even give it Hades. But like,
Oh, they have to give it Hades.
The-
I think the player base would riot.
but
I mean,
like,
they just wouldn't spin at that
oh
point.
no. But yeah, I'm guessing those will be banner suits. I guess we. Well, here, let's
Yeah,
finish the story.
after Onomi set the precedent, I could see that too.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and talk about. We can do suits after story and gameplay. I guess that would make more.
Mm.
So but yeah, story. The rest of the story. I will say, Volume 1 story wise. What did you guys think of Volume 1?
Set it up all right. It was a little bit weak compared to like 2 and 3, but it did set up some of the better things for 2. I feel like 2 picked up a little bit more though.
I like the ending to Volume 1. I think it kind of I think it was a good little introduction to the characters, give you a feel for everybody, and then sets you up on a decent enough cliffhanger for episode 2.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty good start. Pretty much the same thing. I just think again in Volume 2, I feel like Volume 2 was the best out of the 3, personally.
I think it started out. Are we talking about from gameplay or story wise?
Well, I guess
Because I did not like the first mission in Volume 2. Like I'll hold back what I really think about it and say it wasn't all that great.
well, I guess okay. So story wise, though, what did you think about it? For the the first mission, I didn't mind the story too much at the first mission. But
I thought it was cool.
The gameplay, I didn't care for the first mission too much in Volume. But like story
I thought it
wise,
was cool.
yeah, it was fine. I guess I guess maybe story wise, Volume 2 has one failing for me, but that's just kind of because I know what happens in Volume 3, and that's just we're gonna introduce these 2 new suits that look amazing. Which we already commented about
Which
this.
is also very like flash in the pan when it happens. And it's like, I guess it's supposed to just be kind of mysterious, like a weird, like super hard boss in like the beginning of like some other shit. Also, they were a lot harder in 2 than they were in 3. I don't know if that's
Think
just a
so?
level or a stat thing, but like,
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
just
they weren't that
bodied a
hard at
White
all.
Rider. Like
I
it felt
fucking
about the same to
body
me.
rocked like the shit out of both of them.
I would agree that it had more health at the very least in the first in Volume 2,
Mhm.
and then in Volume 3 it was just like, okay, I'll focus the boss, which was also a trap because it's like, haha, you didn't get S. I'm like,
You
no.
didn't do enough damage. Like, got him.
You
Yeah.
didn't win.
So I was just like, okay, fine. I gotta kill both of them to get the other unlocks and get S. Got it. Noted.
Just as a immediate like disclaimer here too, you don't have to get S to get any of the prizes.
Oh, don't worry.
In
I know. I
GBO2.
don't have all
Yeah.
S's. Yeah.
To unlock all the gallery stuff, you have to get S.
That doesn't matter.
Okay, fair enough. Completionist
I know who
syndrome
you ask.
activate.
Saul brought up a good point too, though. Gustav, he was saying that in Volume 3 we have way better suits than we do in 2, which is a pretty good
Yeah.
point. The Titania compared to the to Alma's Hymo is like
Night and
a
day.
very nice upgrade.
Oh yeah. Even then, though, the shotgun. Well, they both have the shotgun, don't they?
Mm.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Yeah, I don't
They're
play
very
raids.
similar kit wise. Just like shuffle a few things around. You trade your missiles for an armed Gatling because the camper said I'm going to arm Gatling things now, and a few other things.
It's my
But
turn.
Right.
Oh.
But yeah, Volume 2 though, I think did a really good job. It had a lot of the same kind of feels that I got when I played Tales of Arise, where I think they do a good job of rolling in like having stuff for new people while also having little tie-ins for people who are more familiar with the series, which isn't me. I knew a few of the people, but a lot of the characters are like, oh hey, you were like in a scene in G Generation Genesis or something like that. Like you when and Helena's just speaking of the first mission, Helena hangs out with what's his bucket, the guy in the Zaku cannon.
Yeah.
Ian.
Or like how
Yeah, Ian.
is it Ian? Okay, yeah. Ian is there, and I think he's like a Xeon Ace or something like that. That was in like that's probably an MSV or some manga
Oh,
or
okay.
something like that. Volume 3 does a really good job of splashing in stuff like that too. But they just have like little things here and dotted out here and there. That they're like kind of like little treats for the veterans, like
Yeah, for the
oh,
hardcores.
I know who that is. That guy was.
Oh my god, they finally have a depiction. Oh, because I mean, even
Yes.
Killy's like that. Killy didn't actually have
Killy's
like
foot
the
only
design
appeared in
before.
like the corner of the MSV magazine before. Now
Oh my
she's
gosh.
now she's
Like
a hot
literally, the
one,
only thing
yeah.
she had was her emblem before.
Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool in that regard.
One of the things I thought most of them were like, so yeah, I knew like, didn't Alma, hasn't she been in something before? Well,
Not that I'm aware of,
I
but
think the
wasn't she
three
in
of them
there?
are just OCs.
Okay.
yeah, I think Killy's like out of the main group is the only real like pre-existing character that I'm
Okay.
aware of.
Okay. I
But I
can't
could be
remember.
wrong.
But like as far as it goes, I for me, I was as far as the MSV stuff, I had no clue on that. But like, the overarching story, like where are they at in the timeline? Okay, cool. They're approaching, what month and everything. I was like, yeah, I'm following along. I know what's going on now. I know, yeah.
I'm wise to your shit in game.
We're about halfway through Gundam series right now. We're like at episode 25 right now or
Then
something.
there's like a giant time skip.
I know. Next thing you know, it's Christmas. Bernie.
But but overall, yeah, I have to say, I think they did pretty well with the story. Again, I deducted. I was like, if it's not a tragedy, I'm deducting a point.
Oh, we're talking about Volume 3 now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess overall, yeah. So Volume 3, I think again, it was a little weird. Maybe maybe I just feel like it could have been a little bit longer, or I feel like they dropped the ball without actually introducing, Red Shirt 1 and 2 as other characters. But I
Yeah,
thought it
that
was
was
really
really weak.
weird that they would even try to introduce new characters when it seemed like the big bad was
Was already there.
yeah, it was Lilith, and I was like, okay. I feel like
No, because
they
she's
needed
another waifu. They need her to not be so bad, though. Otherwise, you can't sell people on her voice or later merchandise. What do you mean?
I mean,
Well,
it's, you know, could have been like great yandere material or something. People out there, right?
she kind of already was, and then they like pulled her back.
And they're like, no, she's gotta be good. It's like, okay. Me.
Yeah, what's the general converter, whatever his name was.
I was gonna say, considering all the
Barry.
Haman simps
Barry,
in
yeah.
chat, like it could have been easy.
Yeah. Also, by the way, I'm like, that Keely's like symbol that she has there. I'm like,
The harpy.
that reminds me of Haman a little bit. That symbol does. Wonder if we're gonna get any reference to Haman anywhere, somewhere.
They could have
Yeah.
pulled a whatever it's called, Haman, like how Haman showed up in Stardust Memory, like for like one scene. It's like, oh, it's just like in that battleship, like it's cold in space or whatever the heck she says. We could have. I would have been okay with that. I was kind of hoping to see Kaisila. Haman would have been like a kid, like 14 or some nonsense. Maybe not that old, 16. However old
Yeah.
Haman would have been
Yeah,
during the
something
1
like
year
that.
war.
Like 15, 16, something like that.
Yeah.
Cassilia at that point is like, what, early 20s?
46 or
She looks 46, but she's supposed to be in her 20s. Which is funny because you look at her in the origin and it's just like, even when she's like closer to the 1 year war, it's like, man, genetics kicked her fucking ass. God
For
damn.
real, what happened?
Fuck that girl up.
Mm-hmm. Maybe she fell down some stairs, like, well, but
She's just got those space mutant genes. I don't know what the hell's going on with her because all of them look kind of freaky.
It's a Minovsky.
That's why they made such a big deal about Garma, because he's the only one that didn't look like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say she got born into. Oh my god!
Bring the origin of your lineage.
They do like to have the antagonist characters look kind of crazy, though.
Kind of goofy, yeah. At first, I was like, "Is this supposed to be a space noid thing? Like, is this just like straight up racist? Like, what's going on here?" But it's like, no, it's just the villains. It's just the villains.
It's just the villains. You if you're lucky, you draw the short or the long straw. You get to be haughty, like Haman.
You know what's funny is that
they drew Haman weird.
Spiker's right, because Cassilia is supposed to be banging, but it's like, I don't know, because she legitimately had that mask on for most of it, and I think the characters and us knew why.
Right.
Yeah, Zionic brings up a good point that, like, some of the mechanical designs are really cool too. Titania essentially being just like another camphor frame, but just with like a different outcome is really cool.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Because like the whole idea of like the camphor frames in general is that they're like high performance, like customizable things that you get that you can like pretty much just put together wherever. So it's nice to have it be like a little bit more realized.
Mobile suits, I agree. The Nomis is another good example too. I love how they kind of threw out the love letter to the Hildolfer.
Not only the Hildolfer, but the guys in like the actual pilots and stuff too.
Yeah, like Sonnen as well.
Nerding out.
Well, here, do we want to talk about the suits and stuff? Or I guess any other things about the story, and then we could hop into the suits.
The ending was pretty nice. I'm sure some people were yeah. I like the idea that we just got to kind of see them actually make it back into space and stuff. And that's one thing that I kind of hope. I want to see what they do after that, or if they get dragged back into things. Because, like, I guess overall, when it comes to how they've done this, like the formatting and stuff kind of sets a pretty good precedence for them doing more side stories.
Yeah.
And I hope that they do, and that they take the way that they did this and kind of run with it a little bit, maybe do some improvements here or there. But I hope this isn't like a one-off for us using this engine for stuff like this.
Well, they do have that launcher, so that's the thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
because you have to go through the launcher, then you go to the start screen. Then
they could put more shit in that menu.
Yeah,
they could though.
That's why I think there's definitely more to come. But
I mean, we haven't even seen space.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe Koferi had 0 space missions. So
Okay.
like,
I don't know.
maybe we'll have,
Most people would probably be like, "Thank God."
Well, I mean, in a single player thing, it could have been really cool, right? You know, some people are probably
Yeah.
like, "Thank goodness," but I think space single player would be awesome. Like space multiplayer is one thing,
Well,
but
like
space single
what
player
is one of the better games that people tend to like is actually Encounters in Space, right?
Yeah.
So like
Mhm.
they did
Yeah, I was
that
gonna
pretty
bring it up
well.
too.
So like, I guess we're going to suits now, and then we'll go into gameplay, and then we'll kind of give our overall ratings of the suits that they brought out. What do you guys think about that? I guess let's start with the first main cast.
Imo was kind of alright. All of them are nice. The only thing that I really have a gripe with is that some of the weird exemptions or nerfs that they kind of did between the ones that we got in Koferi and the ones that we actually got in GBO2 were kind of unnecessary.
Oh yeah, the one that springs to mind for me is having that long barrel Zaku machine gun essentially version of
Not
that
having
sniper,
ASL.
not having ASL for like no reason.
Also, Alma's, despite her kind of having her suit be used at that cost, it still kind of underperforms compared to other things that are already there. So, like getting rid of the force injectors or like the combo being a little bit unique is nice because
It
in
doesn't
the
have force
game it was actually like
injectors?
a
I didn't
shot.
even notice.
No, it doesn't have force injection.
Yeah, they should have left that on.
Yeah,
But
like
it has a
little
shotgun.
maneuverability things like that were kind of whack. They could have had that because all the weapons that it uses, it still has to sit still for, except for like maybe the Vulcans that they threw those on. So like, I don't know, kind of weird omissions for no reason.
You know, and it does have a shotgun, I guess. But the thing is, it's not that much more tanky than a
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
PS at that cost.
I would give you that if you didn't have to stop boosting to use the shotgun.
Yeah.
You still have to stop. Like you're not gonna be boosting for that. So
Yeah,
you're
I
still
got the rec one.
susceptible when you're trying to do it.
And then like the force injector thing is a little weird because it was just like they started boosting sideways after I shot them with like a cannon, and I was just like, okay, well they're gonna charge at me now probably with the thing, and
Away
I
I
just have to
go.
tackle, and I'm probably dead after that. But okay. But then they boosted sideways, and I'm like,
Mhm.
you don't have force injector, bro. You're gonna get stunned again.
He tried though.
And then I was like, well, let me just give you the old shoulder lean here. And
Awkward.
but yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess that's again my kind of complaint too is like they could have given, because I think essentially gained a second dodge roll just by playing Alma in the game, which is cool. They've got stuff tied to the characters,
Mhm.
and that kind of touches on gameplay a little bit. And that's kind of more my complaint is some of the suits, the gameplay side of things. Is like I think they, as far as the first three suits, I think they were just solid. That makes sense, right? They're grunt stuff, cool. You're
Yeah.
just normal, whatever.
Essentially just like custom like AC units, and
Yeah.
I can dig it.
And then eventually they start, gaining uh, more suits as far as stuff they find and upgrading and stuff. And we already touched on, uh, like the Titania and then the Dom, or Zadamo as I like to call it. And yeah, that's pretty cool in that regard. Like the upgrades, slowly stacking things, right? The Efreet Jaeger was kind of interesting. Um, it just literally was just it's the same thing as the Zaku sniper. Just I guess it got an upgrade because it's a general instead.
Oh yeah, it's definitely an upgrade for sure.
So it has a dodge roll.
The rifle pierces too.
Yeah, that pierces actually.
Yeah,
Cool.
which
I'll
is
brought it up,
really
too.
cool.
Yeah, I think that as far as like those types of suits goes, like I would probably play the Jaeger over something like the like White Dingo,
Dingo, yeah, that's what I was
Sniper
thinking.
2 or something like that. Like
Jaeger over the F.
It has a heavy stun.
it's a Zuda.
Yeah.
Probably. I feel like with suits like that, like the heavy stun isn't bad by any means, but I think having constant output, which I feel like the Jaeger can do, because like you have the main fire mode and the secondary fire mode, which is the anti-ship rifle. It gets that in battle operation too, right? Or is that just a code fairy thing? I'm not sure, but no, like it has 2 firing modes.
Yeah, it gets the 2. The difference
Yeah.
between the 2 is that it can't fire and move the secondary version. It actually does a commit stance for the air gun.
Oh yeah, that's right. It also has stealth in GBO2. That's another thing that's kind of interesting. And jamming. It's a free knock, only general.
Except you're just shooting people in the first.
Yeah. So, oh, I guess the other thing too, the half cannon.
Yeah,
Man,
half
I love
cannon
the
is
half
like
cannon, dude.
half cannon is pretty much just a mainstay at this point. At that cost, like people can just whip it out, and people don't really tend to mind.
You don't even
Which
have
is
to have a
funny because
support.
yeah, some people do both just for the extra DACA and typed advantage. But yeah, especially if you're on like a 6 team, might as well just had to hang out.
Just have one crouch, and there you go. You've got the support's job done.
Yeah, DACA it down and then just Vanguard with the other one. Like no.
But I'm curious to see if we see any clan matches at that cost. If we see anybody rocking kind of like one crouching and one not, and like at all times,
Yeah.
swapping out.
The next
Or-
one that's coming up isn't really going to be good for that, just because it's going to be a 4 team. It's simple battle again.
I think it could work though because it is a general. You're not dealing with, at worst, you're dealing with a raid, most likely, and then you can just rock 3 generals, 1 raid, and then if they have a support, have the raid go ham on the support, then you essentially got the job covered by just crouching with your team and staying together.
Yeah,
As a
like
team.
they might use it as a pseudo support. My thing is that like you kind of have to stand your ground to use most of your weapons, and like that kills your mobility. You're probably just going to want to be in something that's hashtag high for the entire thing.
Yeah, that does help.
So
with
for
44.
in most cases, you probably won't even have a support unless it's just something that you can confidently say is either going to be running with people like maybe some sort of sniper custom or something like that.
Well, I will
Like, I
say,
can see that.
Now at 550, again, this is big cost difference. But that Palace of Theme strat where we practiced against you guys, we worked out the kinks on that. The last 550 rank, we were killing it, dude. Like we were so close to like literally we like maxed one of the games we maxed out our like potential score for like you know how it's like how it'll tell you if you maxed out your score for the overall. Yeah, we actually hit the max on it, and I was like, "Yeah, we did it!" And then it's like we went against like an A team, so yeah, we got like 1,000 points only. Woo! But yeah, like it just literally, if that was like anything higher, we would have gotten like top 100 on, on just one of those games. I was kind of slightly tilted, but yeah, it was. But yeah, so I think that strat works if your team works with it, if that makes sense. Like if you have it as your team strat, then I think it could work well. But a lot of bunga happens, of course. And also the point of most clan ranked is to get as much score as possible, not just win the game. So I guess there's that. But
it's all about the numbers.
So the high risk, high reward is more than just having a strat that wins. Which
yeah, he's got to shut up the enemy team. You really have to hope they just keep on feeding.
Yeah.
You're not there to win. You're there to make the enemy team cry.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, back toward the suit stuff. Tangent 1 done. Sort of. Yeah, so then I guess volume 2 stuff. I think gameplay wise and also suit wise, this was the best because of course in volume 3 we really didn't get anything new except for enemy suits. So
yeah.
But although the Spartan is pretty nice and people are running it.
Oh yeah. As far as in GBO2, that's actually pretty nice.
Where does this Spartan start? Cost-wise?
3. Oh, 450?
450, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say because I haven't seen it yet, but that's probably why.
I guess so. The suits that we got, we have the Efreet Jaeger. We kind of talked on that a little bit, but we have the Dommel. I can't help but call it. And the Tanya, and then we got the Pixie LA, and then we got shown the Riders. So yeah, what do you guys think about Volume 2 stuff?
I think they're pretty good. The Lilith's Pixie is pretty much what the upgrade to Striker needed.
Right?
I think I prefer to Spear, but I detest the ready up time on the Scythe.
Yeah, that's my problem too. I'm like, I love the Scythe. I love the quick scoop. The quick scoop swoop is nice. It does crazy damage.
Oh,
But
it sure does. That damage on fire is nuts.
I just can't run it without the spear though. Like I'm like scoop. I get like one or two extra kills, or I get one or two kills with it that are like, yeah, I scooped them to death. Yes. And then the spear though is just like, okay, I'm taking on like two people at once. Let's go. I don't know. Like my gameplay completely changes when I use the spear.
That's
Oh
interesting.
yeah,
I guess
because
the
you got to
extra
be more
range.
active to do the actual damage at that point.
Yeah, that's the other problem. But at least I can ready it up when I wanted to.
Yeah, because I feel like the spear or the scythe is pretty good at crowd control too. Because if you touch anybody with it, it's a knee stagger.
Yeah, that's true.
But I could see that. Like the other reason why I like the spear more than the scythe is just because it readies up faster and you can bait people or catch people off guard with the extra range. You pretty much have beam saber, uh, if not like slightly shorter range with the scythe. But the downswing though, ooh,
Oh yeah.
but yeah,
Now
good
apparently
suit, feels good to play.
you can, by the way, though, for because I know I was saying you can't, but just for anybody who hasn't heard or seen it happen, you can combo with it and just get that scoop off just right before iframes happen. So
I mean, Goose had that one video on Twitter where the guy like stunned, knocked down, scoop, and then neutraled
yeah,
and
Yeah,
killed the guy.
filthy.
yeah,
Nasty.
that's what I was referencing. Yeah, because
Hmm.
I was like, it takes way too long to ready up free.
Yeah, you have to like have some real tight stuff. You probably have to be like JP connection to pull something like that off.
Frame
I can't
perfect
even dream of
JP.
getting the neutral off. Yeah.
You mean like for the extra neutral? Because like the regular scoop, I mean, if you're already used to doing it on the dodge, then I don't know. It's the same shit.
Well, it still has
Well, I
more
mean,
ready up
It's that
time
I
you're
don't
though.
know.
scooting
Every
less.
time I've tried, it's got iframes
Yeah,
before I can even ready up the beam saber. And like, I don't know. I'm not the best player in the game, but I like to think my melee combos are tight, and that shit seems fucking impossible. Um,
To me, it's not so much the tightness, but just like it's so obvious what you're doing, right? Because like people have seen it with the dodge and like the custom so much, just because you're not doing it with like a hand axe. Like once they see the scythe and can tell what you are, they're like, nope, nope, stop that, and either
every time I get
counter you or
interrupted,
just like barf on you. Yeah,
I don't
just
think
when
I
you're getting like
understand your.
interrupted.
Oh, okay, you're saying
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I
I was
thought
saying
you were
I
saying
don't
just
think I
doing it.
understand where you're going with this.
My problem is just doing it. Like even in going into practice myself, going into a free match and just being like, okay, I'm gonna like try to get this full combo off. I'm like, come on, no, iframes, dang it. It's just like
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even talking about us getting interrupted. I mean, that shit's just gonna happen in general. I just mean like in a scenario where you're uninterrupted, like the timing just feels too tight to be able to get the full thing off. Like I don't think I've ever confirmed damage on the neutral after the scythe on my end.
Nah,
yeah.
yeah, the extra neutral feels like a bit extra, but yeah.
In game, I've only done the scythe damage, scoop damage only once after knocking somebody down. Like that's been my problem. I'm just like, come on, I can do this once. Oh. But and then we talked about the Efreet, which is the other one we got in the game. Oh, the Zanny, real quick, let's backtrack. Dude, dude, dude. the Zanny is gross. Like,
And an irrelevant cost.
I love 200K.
200 is trash. They don't even use it for clans.
Yeah, I think I've
One
only ever
day,
played
we're gonna
one
have a
Zanny.
200 game, and then I'm gonna
Nah,
be
they
like,
did.
yes.
250 maybe, not even actually really, because most of the time it's been like 300. In fact, we've had 300s pretty close together.
I know we've had 250 in the past, but I don't know if we've ever had a 200 in the past.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever gone. I think 250 was usually like the bottom end. But even beyond that, like on a quick side note, like we've done a lot of ground too. It's almost like they've forsaken space for clans as of late. I had to check the schedule again after this, out of curiosity.
But
Yeah, Zanny's pretty cool. It gets to use that cannon at a ridiculously low cost when nothing else really can, or can really take the kind of damage that does.
yeah, and it really is a glass cannon at that cost. It's got like the only low, like maybe the lowest health at that cost.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy because we used to talk about the camo being pretty squish, and it is, but it also, unlike the fucking Zanny now, actually has a shield
Well,
and a heavy
remember they
stagger at the very
nerfed that
least.
shield too hard.
Yeah,
Like when the Kabuff came out, that shield was like
disgusting.
extra
It's like a
sized
person.
hitbox and had like 1,000 extra health for no reason or whatever. Like that was gross. Or the suit had another 1,000 health on top, something like that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no, it
it
was
like
the base health. I think. Yeah, like it actually had some chalk for some reason.
It's because it was a Xeon suit with a Federation package, you know? They have all the good sides of both.
But yeah, that cannon just chunks. Like you do some damage. The only thing is, you definitely don't want to get ace because everything can kill you.
Yep, and
but
everything will thoroughly try to kill you.
in an ace match though, that's where I've been only able to play it because 200 pops up. You know, the myth that it pops up in rated every now and then. But when it does, of course, it's always ace. And I'm either
yeah.
playing the ag, which, by the way, side note, it's cool that they put that in the ticket shop. But anyway, we'll get to that here in a minute. But the either the ag or the Zanny now, and if I can get the Zanny, it's I just play like I'm a raid and I just try not to get kills, and then I hope that whoever gets ace actually does their job, and then I just assassinate the ace because it doesn't matter if it's a raid coming at you. You're like, I'm gonna chunk you for a lot of your health because I just actually do damage to everything. Because cannon be gross, man. Like, yeah, it's actually insane how much damage that does at that cost. Which is funny because we talked about the rocket launcher being on like the sniper, and it's like, but it's balanced for that. You know, it's balanced for 200, but you can also use it on the weapons rack, and it's like,
Yeah.
why would you ever?
Because you can fire out of movers, fire on.
Dude, I'll take commit stance for that cannon any day.
Oh yeah. Especially with its movement rate and stuff too. Like it's not the fastest thing on two legs for sure.
But yeah, it's surprisingly slow for what it is too. I mean, I guess it's carrying the cannon, but at the same time, it's like,
Well, let me just try to.
This is awkwardly slower than what I could imagine it being. But yeah, anything? Well, yeah, anything else? I guess with the Zanny, real quick. Have you seen it much, Emblem, or have you?
No, I don't really play low cost.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
200.
Have you ventured into the depths of low cost?
No, low cost trash. Don't do that. It's bad.
You guys
No
make me
do.
sad, man. Low cost representation here.
Low
Let's
cost
go.
too slow is poo poo.
Dude, I like my Chrome Hounds.
Magnum's a low cost
I
player.
like my Chrome Hounds slow gameplay.
Yeah, I like.
No,
my,
I'm not here to play
like
Mech Warrior
speed.
trash. No, thank you.
Oof.
Oh no.
It's fine. Most of the people that we know that play it hate it. So.
Ouch.
And not in an endearing way like we do. So.
Fair enough. So I guess we got introduced to the Pell Riders. We know what they do now essentially, but what did you think about their introduction? Like, as in the, I guess, talked about the story side of it. What do you think about the suits themselves? They look silly in a different way than the
Is it really silly if you can't say it either?
Jomro fin, whatever the fin thing is.
Yeah, you got it.
Is it the Jamro fin? Or
Yeah, Jamro.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what it was. But yeah, that thing. It's like a different kind of silly in my Jomru fin. Okay, well, I bet.
I think it's pretty cool though. Like, it does a good job of checking the boxes of what I like in a suit. Like, it's so sleek. I love it. I love it when it's in its transform mode. And like when it like takes off from the hangar, like at the beginning of a match, like,
Oh, well,
man.
yeah. But I mean, the
This is-
Pale Riders though, like the Jomru is cool. Like I think it's cool. It's still silly, but it's cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
But like that's what I'm saying. I think the Pale Riders kind of look a little silly in a different direction of Jomru fin.
I mean, you know,
They look
it's just
silly in a
because
way where they look like, you know what it is? They look like Gundam versus OCs instead of OCs for a game like this. They
Are
look
we
like
talking
some
about the
shit you
Jomru or
see in
the
like I thought we were just talking about the riders for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know
the
if we were
Riders,
talking
the
about
Riders.
both.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah, we're
I
talking
was
about the
gonna say,
Riders.
the Jomru is just from
Fin.
Macross.
Jomru Fin is literally just like a fucking cannon with legs and hands. It's supposed to look stupid. Like, that's fine. It's just a weird cannon turtle.
Yes, it's just in battle royal or guardian mode or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's Guardian mode from Macross. Big deal.
But yeah, the riders, I like the riders. I personally think the white rider is a little bit goofy with the crown and stuff.
Well,
but
the other thing about the rider is just like the White Rider is the cannon because of the fucking things that flap out that have like no functional like purpose. Like it's some fucking bow and arrow or some shit. It's just like, no, that's just a Shekinah with extra parts on it.
Yeah, it's like
well,
it's a
it has to look cool.
bowcaster. I'm like, what? Like why does it have these extra nonsense things?
Looking like some shit you'd see in G Gundam or something. Like, fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
What? Okay.
What happened?
I'm getting. Oh, I just suddenly got attacked by dog. Dog aggro.
No.
But I like the black rider. Like you get Mirage Coleoid, which I don't know. I wonder if
That's
that's gonna carry
stupid.
over.
It's so dumb.
Look, Nicole loved
Why
the
the
piano,
fuck?
dude.
I know he did, but you know what? That's a whole different universe. Why the fuck?
Okay,
Is this
Alright.
not a 1 year
Black
war,
Dog
dude?
B loved the piano, Gustav.
But like, oh my god. Bang! Wait, isn't it like Bang
Bang
2
Dog, yeah.
or whatever?
Bang 3, roger that.
Yeah, right. I'm just like, wait, these guys are red
I was
shirts.
like,
I can't.
bangs. Like, wait a
can't-
second.
I can't help but get over that. That's like the part of the story that
It's
that,
still
like,
trash. It's
kills
still
me. It's
dumb.
like, wait, they're just red.
They could have
shirts?
actually just
Wait,
like make up an
what?
ace or something, even if you can't like
Literally,
for
say,
real.
oh, by the way, these guys piloted something too. But like, maybe that's what they didn't
was-
want to do. But I'm like, just do it anyway.
maybe
Like,
they
Right? I mean, I was gonna bring it up earlier. Like, Killy was just a fucking logo before Code Fairy came out. They couldn't like make two characters to be in the
That's what I'm
being
saying.
the
I feel like
riders.
or like
feel
just
they
add
got
some
crunch
suits
time
to
or
some
something.
aces repertoire or some shit. Like it doesn't have to be someone new. Even just shoehorn someone else in,
Okay, question.
on like an
Is there
MSV or some shit.
Is there any Gunpla coming out for these?
Yeah,
Yes.
those are
Okay,
like the first ones
Well,
you got
then I
announced.
feel like there's Gunpla. Like it was like here's Gunpla sales. By the
Yep,
way,
here
here's the game. They have to be in the game. Go and
we need them
they
to be
just never-
toys.
they just ran out of time to actually make them characters and come up with story elements to have them tie in.
Well, you know what the weird
I
thing is
feel like
too
that's
is
what
that
happened.
they could have just been Gunpla kits. They could have just been Breaker Mobile suits. They look more fitting in a Breaker Mobile setting than they do this.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I feel like they kind of got horned a little bit, but I don't know. Like
So
the
I'm a little
crown
surprised
thing,
because technically they had like that Mazinger crown on the white.
right? The crown
Well,
thing.
at first when I saw the Rider Black, I thought that the shoulder things weren't domes. I thought it was actually going to be like an aerial suit or something, and those are like propellers, almost like some of the weird Thunderbolt like shoulder packs that they have.
Oh, you're talking about the Black Riders Ardomes or whatever they're.
Yeah, the Radomes.
Radome.
Radome.
Yeah, the the stealth mode thing though, I don't know. I could see that being a thing in Gundam.
I mean, it's
sort
gonna
of.
be a thing, but it's gonna be too obvious in game.
Oh, in game
If
it's
we
like
ever
We already
do
have.
it, yeah.
You already have
Yeah,
stealth.
if
so,
we
like,
want to talk
doesn't
about
matter,
in
right?
game, well, I mean, it kind of does because like we have it for radar and also jamming, which I think it does both. Does it do both in game?
I think it does. I can't remember.
So then
I
you're
know it
gonna
has
see this,
stealth.
especially think about it in like some of the darker areas too, where there's like more cover and stuff, and it's just you're just gonna see this weird white shiny like
Yeah.
outline of a person. There's that's worse.
I mean
Like,
that's
Doesn't it blend in more when it's not in your perspective though? Like I and maybe I'm just misremembering, but I could have swore like unless you're like actively damaging it or something, it blends in better.
I mean I could still
When it's
see it a
not
mile
near like
away.
I don't know. I'd have to do
like
the
Halo-
fight
it's like
again, but like
Halo
it
stealth,
seemed really
man.
obvious. Yeah,
It's
Halo.
like
I know there
Halo
were
active
times
camo. I'm like I'm playing Halo Infinite,
maybe
man.
that's
I'm
maybe
like
that's
playing Halo
why,
Infinite.
right?
I pop
If
the
you're
and I'm like,
disposed to that sort of thing more often, then like it's just like that's really obvious actually. Like,
well, I'm not saying like where to go, but I just could have sworn there were like instances where it was more visible than it looks like,
I mean maybe, but for me it's just like, yo, I'm over here. I'm this blurry thing in your vision right now. Come hit me. I'm a raid.
in a put it this way, in a game where dust and other shit already fucks up your visibility, like the stealth and the jamming is gonna be enough. Just making yourself shine through all that isn't really gonna make much of a difference. If anything, it's just gonna give you a harder time. So
gonna blind people.
I mean I think
now,
it's cool.
if you need to pop the modes in order to do all that, then all right, whatever. If they want to tie it in that way,
Yeah. Like,
but maybe if the stealth gets heightened from like a certain level to a higher level, like maybe even a level that we can't like attain, so like nobody can see you for a short amount of time, that'd be kind of cool.
Mhm.
yeah, like that would be cool. Like you literally just completely disappear. But like if even if it's Halo stealth, like I'm like, oh yeah, dude, playing this map. We've got the again. I've been playing a little Halo Infinite, but it's just like, oh yeah, what's the power item? Is it overshield? Am I about to become like invincible to like rockets for a second? Let's go.
Not just stealth. Fuck.
Active camo, and I'm like, well, I got the power item, guys. Let's
Rip.
better not shoot for a second. Let me run over. Oh, I snuck up behind you. Stab. Luckily, we're playing like ranked, so you don't have radar anyway. So I'm.
Such a
I didn't
shame
really
when
need it.
you're. Can you do instant kills from behind in that?
Yeah. Like
Okay,
I
good. I was gonna
assassinate
say.
them, but it's just
I was
like
gonna say
I
because
didn't.
like
You don't
it's
have
a shame
radar
that it's in
anyway.
a game that has a fucking shield mechanic, but no, okay, if they let you do that, then that's fine.
Yeah. But like at the same time though, even though when I'm running, it's just like, I just got sniped and I'm invisible halfway across the map. It's like,
Hello.
yeah, it's really easy to see even when it's like.
But overall, the
pretty decent.
designs are fine. They're a little out of place for the setting and all that, but like, whatever. We had the Titania running around. The Nomides looks pretty fucking ridiculous in its own right, so it fits in
Well, I
with
think
some of the custom designs.
I think it looks ridiculous. Well, in the case with the Nomides, I think it looks ridiculous in the sense that seems like something that could exist. But if you want to talk lore, because I think that was another thing that come up in chat a couple of times. It was like, this. Why wouldn't they have more of these? Like, why would we have seen some kind of stealth system before? Like, have we in any like MSV thing, or is this going to be the first?
I don't think so.
And
At
I know
least
when,
not like a visual stealth, right? Like typically
Mhm.
it's jamming or just
Yeah.
like being off a radar.
But if it's as bad as what it kind of looks like in game, then it's like, okay, well this was cool, but it's too expensive and it's kind of a failed project. Let's move on, right? Like if that's how
Mhm.
it goes lore wise, which I mean, obviously we didn't get to see any of that. Like again, it would have been cool to have like another volume. I know that like if they could package it all in, the same 3 volumes or whatever, add an extra 2 episodes to everything or something. I don't know, but like to where it actually
And DLC
explained the
episodes.
origin of those suits in the story there, and like
Oh, we have a chance with the manga, I guess. That's something else we
yeah,
should mention. There is a manga coming
yeah.
up. It might just be a specific retelling, or they may actually take some time to do some extra side stuff. Hoping it's the latter. We
Yeah.
won't know
Yeah, I'm sure it
until it
will
comes
be.
out. But that's cool. The other thing I was kind of hoping for was like some sort of OVA, but I guess that would just be looking at the cutscenes over again.
Oh,
someone
sure.
will probably do like a supercut or some shit on YouTube too. So
Yeah.
I mean,
But
I'd watch the anime. Sign
dude,
me
for
up.
real
yeah,
though, if there was an
yeah.
anime of this, I was like, that's well, I guess we can get into that when you start talking about full review score kind of thing later.
Mhm.
But yeah, Suits in Volume 3. We got one new suit really, and then we went from Scythe Lilith to Spear Lilith. Um,
Yeah,
which honestly was a harder fight for me for even with the Titania. Well, actually, you had the Titania at that point in both fights, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
like Spear Lilith was a whole lot harder, and I feel like they actually tightened the AI a little bit, especially when you do it on hard.
I haven't
Like,
played
Yeah.
harder yet, but I bodied the final fight with Lilith like one shotter.
yeah, I think I messed up and took like one hit, and I was like, and then so I kind of screwed that one up. I think I had to repeat that one once, but after the first time, I was like, okay, cool, I'll just back up and shotgun you now. Instead of
Yeah, I had a harder time with the
going ham.
dogs than I did with Lilith on most of those
Lilith just
scenarios.
had like emergency evasion fucking 30, man.
Like, let me just yeet. No,
Yeah,
no, just
that's
all
what
the
I'm saying. I
time.
feel like they just turned up some stats more than anything, as far as like you're gonna dodge every time, and no big deal. But so moving into the other thing though, the Spartan. What do we think about the Spartan, both in there and also in GBO2?
I
I
haven't
don't have
really had any
GBO yet.
experience with it in GBO2. Kind of annoying to deal with as an enemy. Definitely want to give it a shot, but I actually haven't seen it in any matches either. So
I've run into it a few times. It could be pretty it can be pretty devastating. It's just got so much it's just got such a good kit. Like
Yeah.
it seems to have something for like um both of its good ranges, like mid and close. Like you have maneuver armor, you have double pistols, um you can stagger. Um I can't remember if it's the Pale Rider or the Black Rider. I think it's the Black Rider. Um I think one of them has like the little laser chaff grenade or something
Mhm.
like that. I might be thinking of Black Rider. But I don't know. I haven't like seen I haven't gone up against anybody running the new GM that hasn't like at least done something that's like, oh, okay, that's pretty impressive.
Um, I've been comparing it in the sense of how many weapons it has and stuff, and just it kind of more of like the Rick Diaz a little bit, but like with the shape of a GM or a Gundam. So like, you're thinner, you're not Scooty Boy, and you have a solid kit of weapons to do stuff with. And then it's got, I forget its stats right now. Isn't it more on the melee side, damage stats, right?
I'd have to look. I thought it favored range,
I
but I'm
need
not
to
100% sure.
I need to bring up my game anyway, so I can start in that, where I can look up a screenshot here real quick. But overall, though, it's solid for sure. Um, I don't know. I still think there's I haven't seen anything bad with it. I still think there's just better um stuff at that cost
yeah,
that I like to play anyway.
still, I'm excited to get into it. I wouldn't mind giving it a go.
Actually, Emblem, I don't know if you have the wiki up, but do you know the stagger ratio on stuff and things?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now actually.
High five.
Um so all of its modifiers are pretty standard as far as like melee and stuff goes. Um your primary weapon is a short beam rifle. Um it's 10% stagger ratio on it. I believe it staggers on a hit though. The other weapon option is the Hyper Bazooka, improved, as they put it. Um, it does bazooka things, 80% stagger. Um, it's the one that's already in the game. It has the fixed double beam saber, very similar to the full armor Gundams. 2300 damage. Its secondary is the double hand beam gun. It's 20% stagger. Although I don't know if it alternates. I haven't seen it. I'm assuming it doesn't fire both at once because it's not saying it's a 20 times 2. So I guess it's like it fires one gun then the other. But that's 20% per shot. And so it's a 5-hit stagger. You can fire 6 shots before it overheats. It has wire guided missile. That's the one. I don't know if you've seen it where like it has the fucking crazy controls.
Yeah.
But you can like you can tri-blade it. It has smoke discharger, so you can get the stealth. The grenade has a 50% stagger buildup. And it has leg shock, quick boost, emergency evasion, balancer, combat controller 1, maneuver armor 1, anti-blast stabilizer, and it has the leg buffers, so it takes less damage when you shoot in the legs.
Yeah, it's definitely a solid suit. I think it's honestly, in my opinion, probably the most solid out of the suits. Maybe the I mean the other one that we got was the Titania in this patch. So we could talk about that one too next. But
That one's definitely a good overall. It has a lot of competition though.
I don't like what
which
they
is a
did
little
to it
rough.
in the transition to the game.
Just sad that they took away the beam as a sub.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, I wasn't expecting them to give you both.
Well, as soon
Yeah,
as I
I
saw
thought
the
it,
sub,
I
kit
figured that
good
was
enough.
going to be one.
as soon as I saw the sub, I was like, okay, that's going to be a main weapon swap because what they did with suits prior to that, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Because the Nomads is like that too.
But the
Pretty much.
giant bazooka, what? Why?
What?
Why did they give us the crappy one?
What's wrong with that one?
With 8
I
seconds
mean, it is pretty.
cooldown?
It is pretty
What?
bad. Like,
What in the world?
it's easily one of the worst bazookas for sure.
I mean, it is, but it's also on a suit that has a shit ton of other things for you to be doing with it after you fire your shot. Like, it's not going to be that noticeable.
It is for me. I'm like, okay,
I think it
I'm
should have
using
been
the
like
beam
Like,
rifle.
you need
I
to
think the
bung it
rate
more
should have
is
been the
what
same
you
as the
need to
camper.
do.
I'm swatching. I'm swatching. Swap and switch at the same time. There we go.
True swatch.
I'm swatching to the beam rifle. Forget that bazooka, dude. Also,
Yeah.
I played.
I mean,
the
it's also good
Jaeger,
for the
so.
blast down.
Mm.
Not to mention you can still get a charge out of it. So it's like, if you're still already doing pursuit, like, that'll be fine.
But you know, shotgun's still cool. Gatling's
Oh my God.
awesome. It stuns faster than in Code Fairy, which is awesome. You can actually get the Gatling stun into if your shotgun's reloading, you just Gatling them kind of thing. I don't
Yeah.
think it's fast as like GBO2 stun, but it's kind of close. And then you could use Sturm after that, Bunga. But like I said, I can't stand that bazooka, dude. 8-second cooldown, like, ugh. Between rockets, and you only have 4 shots. Read it. But I'm trying to find the normal bazooka. I just go to the Dom, right? It's got the giant bazooka. Yeah, 7.4 seconds, which is already kind of. But you know, I'm about to probably gonna look up something, and then I'm gonna have to be like, sorry, I'm a horrible person. Never mind. I don't feel as bad about it. Let's see, because that is the Rig Dom 2 one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Balls. Okay, well, before somebody gets me with the gotcha moment here,
Well, actually,
I do like the Rick Dom 2. I am a fan because it does have the beam and the Sturmfaust. And I love playing the Rick Dom 2. So I guess I could use the shotgun or the shotgun. Why did I say shotgun? The Rick Dom 2 giant bazooka. Ugh. But yeah.
Just use the beam rifle.
Well, yeah.
I'll probably start using the beam rifle when I play.
I mean, everyone that I see do it, it's pretty much just beam rifle.
Yeah, but I mean, at
Because
the same
like,
time,
there's some things that had
works.
decent resistance at that point, but not enough for it to not still be a good, like, better alternative.
But what do we
Because I
think
tried the
about how it
bazooka.
feels squish wise? I have to say, I think it definitely is faring better than the Pixie when it comes to squish.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're squishier raids, but I mean, it goes down about as fast as any other raid. It gets some attention.
It's in Gen Aggro.
My
Mhm.
thing is like against the Pixie, by the way, Emblem. I don't know if you've ran into a Zussa that just dumpstered you, but like with the Pixie, I've just been like, oh, it's a Pixie. Come here. Oh, you're stunned.
Which Pixie, like Lilith's
The
Pixie,
LA,
or
yeah.
There's two now.
okay.
Like I've just been destroying the new Pixie with the Zussa. Like let's go.
It's just a Kimboli. I mean, like, most of my Sissa encounters come down to either like one of three things. I get the stun and I murder it. I don't get the stun and like they do Sissa things. Like they throw oranges at me, sneeze in my face, and down swing me.
And they go boo boo.
Yeah, and then they stick around, and then I murder them, or like a teammate or one of their teammates shows up, and that never goes well. But
I mean, I could take it down to about 25% health one combo, and I'm like doing that to a raid. It's got nothing for ballistic or beam resist, whereas you at least got some decent beam with Titania and okay ballistic. Like your resist don't exist on the Pixie. I mean, it's got melee res, right? So generals might not instantly murder to death, but I don't know. For me, I was just like looking at this compared to the Pixie. I'm like, man, they could have at least given it, since it doesn't have stealth, at least given it like another 5 to 10 like resist and ballistic and beam. Like, I mean, I'm glad I can bully it to death since it has such a big scoop to whoop thing. Like, it will one shot me if it like hits me with that downswing. But like, I catch it 9 times out of 10 because I'm like, there's the raid. Okay, I can go bully this one. But I don't
yeah,
know. I'm big Zussa.
the raids may
main
be
right now.
the raids may be. I mean, the Sissa's really nasty. The raids may just be taking a little bit too directive of an approach. Like I know whenever I start a match, most of the time I'm still playing the Night Seekers at that cost, but I'll literally like change my approach to the support if it's a Sissa or not. Whenever I'm in a game, so maybe they just aren't approaching it the right way.
Maybe I'm just like new typing a bit this or whatever at the rating I'm playing, but like I literally go out of my way to be like, yo, raid right here. Come on, let's dance.
You're not the only ones. Sissas are all cocky as hell.
Yeah.
I have punished hubris and Sissa
Sissa.
players more
Yeah.
than the account. Like they'll be doing some shit, and they'll knock me down, and they'll just stick around. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Run
Oh no,
away.
I'm waiting. No, I'm
Why are
like
you
I'm waiting. You're gonna stun me. I'm gonna stun you, and then I'm gonna stun you, and then I'm gonna stun you, and then I'm gonna knock you down, and then I'm gonna delete your legs because I already deleted your legs once. Like that's like there's if as long as I'm fresh and reloaded, like
And then he gets hit in the back of the head with a saber, and it's all over.
yeah. Then one of your teammates shows up. I'm like, wait, the tables have turned. I'm bullying the raid, and they get a teammate. What is this? What is this nonsense?
Yeah, I need to see a recording of this scenario. I don't think it's possible for friendly teammates to show up in a 1v1.
No, Nomides is a support. It is.
But yeah,
Nomi is a support.
Yeah. The gnome, the Dom gnome.
The gnome.
Oh.
Oh, can't do it.
But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, Titania. Back to that. It's gross. It's got knocked down swing, good dodge roll, good skills. Like that's the other thing too. Like I saw this and its skills. Like what do we got here? Double dodge roll, which they both have double dodge roll. I will say the Pixie having double dodge roll is absolutely disgusting.
The
That's
flight
the only
control
reason
on
why it
the
would be-
Titania is also really cool, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like it forces me to knock it down faster with this. Otherwise I could bully it even harder if it only had one dodge roll. But yeah, you just said offense system, right, Gustav?
No, I was talking about the flight system.
Oh, flight system. Okay.
Offense system is cool too, but like,
Yeah.
I saw Sov in it the other day where he was like juking a dude midair that was trying to shoot him when he was like coming off of the ramp on what was it, City Ruins, And then mid boost, like after he got out of the boost, him still had some hang time. He just nailed him with the stern frost and then landed.
He ended up in one of my rank games, and I was like,
Oh no!
I bet that Sav over there, that's a 50 cost under Titania over there. Let me just ready up all my missiles. Yeah, Sav, knock him down so I can steal that kill. And then I launched all my missiles, and then he typed in chat, "Hey, I saw you try to blow me up." I'm like,
leave that alone.
I mean, if there's just two of you, just so happen
I'm
to be in the
surprised
same
he actually
spot.
did that. That's bold as hell. Unless he just doesn't have a Rigazi.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I was playing the Bawu because I didn't have a Rigazi, but Rigazi.
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
we'll get into the rank later, but the funny thing is though is like then I got to delete him because that thing's ballistic resistant nothing. So me having like 100% increased damage because of the buff, I was just like, oh, I'm sorry, Sav, you got knocked over. Goodbye. It felt
Okay,
great.
Sav
doing
says
like
that
10k damage.
Sav said that
to
he
Rig.
does have a Riga Z, but he has professional standards. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. I approve. I approve of that
Professional standards of not winning.
statement. Very intensify of you, my friend.
Hey, I will like suffer, you know, rather than take part in any kind of depravity. Like, like we had a port-based match
I
before we
don't
got started in
believe.
the customs, and the enemy team was all BST Unit 4s. You know, it's almost as bad as a full Coal Districts team. I don't, you know, how to watch Sav turn a corner and get fucking deleted by like 3 laser beams at once.
Oh man!
Ouch.
Stuff like that just isn't right, and I can appreciate some.
It's only not
some
right when you're
standards.
not the one doing it.
but yeah, the Titania though, the rest of the skills, high performance balancer, melee combo level 2, assault booster level 3, flight control program level 3. That's the one you were talking about. Glide structure 3, which is funny when you see it jump off of something and fall years to the ground. If it gets hit. Force injector 2. Maneuver armor 2. Special back add-on buffer and high spec ambac level 2. So yeah, it's pretty stacked. And also I think it has space specialization with that ambac too. Is that the case? Yeah. Tiny is good. I like it.
Although apparently the downswing looks hilarious in space.
Wait, does it? Oh my gosh.
You just yeet yourself like it's a random direction or something.
No, you just start spinning in place. Yay!
Oh, there's no momentum. That's
okay. I was like,
there is, but you're dealing with Scooty shit then at that point because you're in space.
Oh, okay, yeah. You turn into a Scooty.
Also, if you try to look down and do a horizontal spin at people.
Oh no. Okay.
If it had gimbal, that'd be even worse. But thank goodness that's a support thing.
Oh, also, I guess we didn't talk about it because it's kind of the new suit as much. For when we get to the actual banner, but in Code Fairy in Volume 2, what do we think of the new Dom? And we'll talk about it later when we get to the banner.
I mean, officially, you can only really
run
Dom?
it in
Is
like
just
a tropical.
No,
yeah.
I meant the Dom Nomads.
Oh, that seems pretty underwhelming.
I mean, in Code Fairy though, like
oh,
we're
it's
talking
awesome.
about the Code Fairy version in Volume 2 because we didn't really go over that as it being a new suit. I kind of skipped it because I was thinking about saving it for later.
I mean,
let's talk about it.
Yeah,
in Code Fairy.
just save it for later. Then we're already too far gone. That.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, Volume 2, it was awesome. I loved it. It was hype. I guess we'll talk about it in the banner. It had all the weapons, which I'm kind of sad. Yeah, but that's more banner talk. But it was absolutely, that was my funnest mission. Like apparently I had a scary face. I was like, yes, my dreams have come true. Let's go. Like
finally realized.
Yeah, I was like, this is the ultimate Dom Barrage mixed with a Zombie.
Hey, this.
But anyway, okay, so then we got to, I guess, in the story and stuff. What as far as new suits, what do we think of the final, I guess, fight with the Spartan and stuff, story wise, or like suit wise and story wise, Volume 3.
Spartan fights are kind of annoying, but in a like kind of ball stompy way just because of the way that the AI kind of piled on. But it's interesting that they were able to do that with the way that it worked.
I'll be right back.
I kind of hope that they use that for other things. If anything, they should use some of that for some of the other simulator shit going forward.
Sure, for sure. Yeah, I like the interactions with the new suits in the game, except for the parts that didn't make any sense, like the pilots and the riders and stuff like that. But um, I don't know. I thought it was fun. Like I I do agree that I think they should have had the riders be more of a threat, but I guess they didn't want to take away what's his bucket's thunder, especially since they had people that literally didn't have name tags. So
it's like, this is a really cool character. He's gonna be one of the rider pilots, right? No. Wait, what?
yeah, I should just put him into Black Rider or something.
Yeah, it was really weird seeing that. Like, and he ended up being the crazy guy. And it was just like, oh, okay, so this is what generals are really like.
Yep.
The true nature revealed.
Lilith is just angry. The general main was
yeah, Lilith is just Lilith isn't even a raid main, she's just a tilted player.
Yeah, it's same. It's those terms are interchangeable, Gustav.
Fair. That's fair.
All raids are built.
Take the generals.
Take the supports. Go.
Oh.
Yes, someone said that one too many times to Lilith. They were just like, take the support.
Yeah.
Take
She
all
was
the
in a
Xeon
simulator.
support.
That's what she screened out when her hometown was wiped out.
Take the generals.
The colony was just a giant support.
Yes, new suit, colony, support.
Just a suit that can call in the colony drop.
Yes.
Oh god. It takes like 7 minutes and
if they ever went full COD, that would just be what their tactical nuke would be.
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. Oh dude. Okay, yeah, any other suit things? Then we'll get into gameplay.
I think overall the suits are fun. I think anybody that likes the Nomies, that because like it's almost like a taste of what Code Fairy has to offer for the people who didn't buy it. If they roll in the banner, which I don't know, maybe it's not good. Maybe it's not setting a good precedence in GBO2,
but it isn't.
But I do think for the most part the suits that you get in from Code Fairy are worth getting the game for. I think they're pretty cool.
Well, with that said, that actually sets up a good segue for gameplay, because this is where I think the weakest part of Code Fairy is for me. And I'll go ahead and start off by saying I wonder if I had never seen GBO2 and haven't played it for 3 years and no clue what, how to play it all or whatever, and it was like the first game I played of this engine was Code Fairy, how I would feel about the gameplay. But I've been really thinking on this, and I kind of think back to what I thought about the gameplay for GBO2. It still was kind of clunky and stuff, but I love the shooting parts. And while it still has its problems, I still like the shooting part of it still a lot. So as far as like, and we'll get to this when we start scoring stuff here later, but like overall, it's probably one of the better just Gundam games I've played, I think, as far as gameplay goes. But
yeah,
for me the bar is pretty low.
Not to mention you have a pretty big gap between like battle operation shenanigans and like any other single player stuff that isn't a fucking mobile game, so
right. But I guess we can kind of talk about these in volumes, but mainly for me, the gameplay comes down to um, all the volumes are pretty much the same except for what they add during each one. So I guess volume one, you know, talking about gameplay wise, like the suit upgrades, the skills, the actual RPG elements that kind of sort of were there with the level up stuff. I think again, if they had a year to kind of book this a little more, I think that could have been really cool where you could like customize some of your level up points, whatever, and stuff like that. I think they could have done a lot with that, and it kind of shows potential for, if they do something else later, they can kind of, leave some of these elements in the
Hmm.
oven and kind of flesh them out more. I think could be kind of cool because it looks like there's a glimpse of something cool there, and then it's just like, well, yeah, you just level things up and your characters just get better until eventually
Yeah.
you deal 9999 damage to everything, maybe whatever, right?
Ironically, they probably could have taken some inspiration in terms of like stat and skill growth from like SRW to a certain extent. Just had them have like not only stat boosts but also their own like personal skills and stuff
Yeah.
outside of the ones that you pop.
Well, I think they do because it seems like with Alma you get second dodge roll kind of thing, but it's not like it's not written anywhere. But I'm pretty sure like the base suit doesn't have it, and
Nah,
then
the
she
stats.
gets.
I'm pretty sure the skills for the suits in Code
Yeah.
Fairy reflect that. I don't think the pilots have any additional skills that they add to the suits.
I can double check, but I wanted to remember that she only had evasion 1 even on the high mo.
Like I know when the levels go up, they do affect the skills. I think
On the high mo. Okay, then maybe that was it.
yeah,
Because I noticed it was double dodge rolling. I'm like, wait a minute. I swore I saw evasion 1 on it. So I mean, I could be crazy right now too.
Yeah, the
But
suits when they upgrade
yeah, and chat's
get more
confirming it
stuff.
too. They're saying
okay.
a level 1 has one and then it gets to higher level
Oh,
2.
okay. So that's where. Okay, I was like, what in the world? I couldn't figure it out. But I didn't think about the suit was actually leveling up during the campaign. Okay, well there's that then. Never mind. I'm crazy. Crazy person over here.
We're all crazy.
Well, that's beside the.
Yes, but moving on anyway.
Yes, moving on. But yeah, it gameplay wise too, the active skills that was really cool. I like that. That was pretty
Mhm.
awesome. You're just like, oh yeah, time to pop everything and go ham. Especially Fairy Zone. Oh my gosh, dude,
Oh
that
my
was.
god, yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah,
gain
like Fairy
advantage
Zone.
against everything.
I like Queen Blade too. Um, like it gives you some nice bonuses, but I just really like having combo controller level 4. Um,
Wait, what is that?
Queen Blade.
Oh
It's
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one I
You
didn't
get a
really.
whole extra
like
swing and shit.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's
the
Yeah.
one
what
I didn't
Alma
really
gets
use.
before Code Fairy. Like I saw that and I was like, yes. My melee damage fall off is gonna be insane, but I get to smack people around forever. Let's go.
But
Was it 3? Some level, but you get more
yeah,
swings.
you get another swing.
Yeah,
Really
essentially
cool.
you get like Common Controller 3.
Um, but I think the skill thing was really cool. I like that they actually had new ones in Volume 3, but that was really the only new kind of thing. So Volume 3, gameplay-wise, in that respect, gaining stuff, I think was kind of more the weaker one, just because there wasn't any new upgrades to the suits really that came out. It was like, here's another gun on the Titania, and that was it, which was cool, but it wasn't like, which I think that's why they threw something else on there. They were like, yeah, we probably should actually have some scaling for the player other than these levels and an extra skill. So,
It would be nice.
but I think 2 definitely was the peak of that kind of system, right? Where you kept gaining stuff, and it was like, oh, well, this is cool. We got a suit upgrade. We got our mid-season suit upgrade, and then we got the bunch of extra skills, mainly Fairy Zone, which was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you guys think though? I think they again, like if it just had a bit more time to bake some of these concepts, I think it could have been really cool. A lot of the gameplay
Yeah.
elements they had.
It was fine.
think, Emblem?
Oh, honestly, I'm not sure. Like, I think as far as it goes, it was just battle operation with a couple of extra things. Um, and I think I was fine with that. Like, I don't know what happened in the development cycle of the game, so I don't know if I don't. It'd be hard to say if it was like something that was taken out of the oven too early or what, because I don't know what kind of deadlines they had. But I don't know. There was nothing that's to me. It didn't seem like there was stuff that felt unfinished. I guess like maybe from what I'm getting from what you're saying, it seems like you felt that way. But maybe I'm misunderstanding when you said like more time to finish. But it
Well,
just kind of looked like they added a few
I mean,
things to
essentially, he just
GBO2.
wanted more.
yeah, it's one of those things that everybody you can always say they could have done more, but I mean, it just feels
Hmm.
like what we get in GBO2 a lot is, I guess, more of what I'm saying. Like, they're like, here's the thing, and they don't really do anything extra with it. Or in the case of Dahlia, they don't do anything at all, but other than just bring her into existence. So like I don't know. It just feels like that. Only with each of the things they added, they were like, here's a thing, and it's just there. Now let's move on to the next thing we're adding, and it was like it's cool. It's a great starting concept, but then like they could flesh it out more. Which I guess the
Hmm.
fleshed out more of the PvE stuff is literally this game. So but I think they're great like base ideas and base mechanics, but I think they could have done more with them. Is what I'm saying. Like they're really cool ideas.
I got you.
Like the like I said, the RPG stuff. I think it's a great starting point, but like they could have done more stuff. Leveling up, you could have more passive things, like what Gustav was saying with like the SRW stuff. Instead of just their active skills, they could have some passive skill things. Like I think that could be cool, where you can mix and match for pull in some passive skills or whatever, right?
Hmm.
So, but again, maybe a longer game. Maybe they start doing that later if they end up continuing on to
But
essentially
Code Fairy
volume
already
4.
had passive skills, right? Because I mean, every mobile suit has passive skills. Um,
I
in
just
that
mean more in
regard,
like
or it's more for like pilots.
yeah, I just mean for the
Yeah, more so
pilots,
for the
like
pilots.
like they level up, you get to like pick and choose kind of like your own build kind of thing. Like they could have done more with that, added different passive skills that they either, at the very least that they get as they level up. Like, once they hit level 10, they gain, I don't know, evasion 3 or something, essentially, because they get another evasion or whatever, right? For like
I don't
almost.
know. Like for me, I kind of view it as like the passive skills are kind of like the specs and outfit of the suit. And I think it makes sense to why there's pilots themselves wouldn't have it. Like I kind of like the active abilities being tied to the pilots because they're the ones that are actively doing things, whereas the suit's performance is kind of set. And so passives on them kind of make a little bit more sense. I personally don't think they need to like I don't think it would hurt, but I personally didn't mind the way it was set up. Like I like having that separation of the two where you kind of granted in the story mode you really didn't get to play the other stuff. You had to go to the simulators.
Yeah.
But maybe even so much of just like you could play different suits. I don't know. I like the idea of a different suit for a different scenario from like from this standpoint rather than adding abilities to the pilots
Well,
in that case because it kind of I think it rewards the players for trying out different suit setups or different suits in general. But maybe they should add like a post game thing where after you beat the game, you can just run the other suits you unlock in the story or something like that.
yeah, I think that would be
Um,
cool. A new game plus kind of thing.
They should also start distributing some of those other weapons to some of the grunt suits, like the
Right.
ground VR more things and shit.
But
yeah.
well, here's the other thing though with what you just said. I mean,
Mhm.
literally they're getting passive for the pilots. Each time you level up, they get like, your suit has an extra 200 health or, one to each of the defense, extra turn speed or extra thruster, right? So I mean,
I mean, I don't
like
consider stat passives, but I mean, I guess I can see what you're saying.
yeah, like that. I think that kind of upgrade passive is, I mean, it's okay uh, in some respect, but like I think the skills would be a little bit more interesting than just the Okay, I just have
Flat stat bonus.
yeah. So, but I mean, again, like some of the skills are a flat stat bonus in the sense of buffer. So if you got stuff like that, then I guess that's pretty much the same as just gaining just flat defense.
I suppose, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It was like it kind of seemed bare minimal a thing that was like, hey, this is kind of cool. Let's throw it in here because it seems like it's an idea, and then that was kind of as far as it went. Is kind of my thing. Like it would be cool if they could flesh it out more, and I think they're cool ideas. They're cool base ideas. Like
Mhm.
I think it was actually really cool seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, it always all of this hinges on whether or not they do more.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's the
If
thing.
they don't do more, then it's kind of like it is what it is, and from that standpoint, it was kind of nice, but wasn't really a whole lot. If they do more, then it becomes the precedent, in which case that's fine, and it was just a
Mhm.
foundational thing.
But yeah, with the gameplay elements stuff, anything else you guys like to mention? Other than that, I'd say we go to the AI and then the simulator stuff for the gameplay.
I think I'm good as far as that goes.
Okay. So AI, yeah. So my thing is this also ties into difficulty for me too, and like hard mode in pretty much every aspect is literally just throw more suits, and the hardest one is throw more supports at the player, especially Desert GM that can heavy stun you infinitely till you explode and have to restart. Yay.
I never got chain stagger, but that sounds painful.
It was the most, I was like, I can't believe I'm feeling sympathetic to raids right now for wanting to kill supports so bad. What is this? Wait, I'm a raid that's scared of supports in this game. What in the world is this? What is this nonsense? But yeah, um, like I was getting so tilted at some of the support chain stuns, or like they'd add 2 extra gun tanks, and for some reason that like I literally would have to restart because if I took too much damage I wouldn't get the S. So I was trying for S's, and it was like, oh, they decided to cannon you this time, so you're stunned, you're stunned, you're stunned, you're stunned, you're stunned, stunned. Please swap to your rockets, gun tanks, please, please stop cannoning me. Okay, I'm dead.
No, too
And
late for you.
like the aimbot stuff, like when you could tell, like they were pretty much aimbotting you, that's when it was like annoying. But otherwise, it was like pretty okay. I mean the aimbotting was definitely better than what they have in GBO2. So I guess they're harder in that respect. But I definitely wanted like hard mode to be like the boss fight, or even to touch on the simulator stuff, the Char fight or the Johnny Ryden fight, right? Like any of that
Mhm.
was pretty cool, but they were literally just jacked up to like, they had every skill maxed out, probably every stat maxed out, running at you like crazy person, right? And they had, but then they had everything, the aim bots turned up so that they perfectly countered and everything else when if you decided to swing at all at without stunning them first.
That was my only thing is I hated that you couldn't fake them out. Like the spot on aim didn't really bother me. I maybe it's because I was pretty much expecting that from the bots for the most part.
Well,
But
I guess the aim with the so again, this is I guess touching on the simulator a little bit. But when the gun was poking through a building for the one where you had to stay alive, like if their
Mhm.
gun was poking through the building, they would automatically fire because their gun, the rocket actually shoots out of the front of the gun. So technically, they like flipped through the building and got to shoot you, and they would instantly shoot as soon as it could target you and hit you, kind of thing, right? So
oh yeah,
there was some BS like that. Or my favorite one in the
I never
campaign.
had that particular instance, but they they know their ranges and stuff like that. So
Well, in the campaign, the first mission of the volume 2, the reason why I hated it so much was because that stupid everything was on rails, so they just passed up everything. The AI that was helping you to begin with, and the 1 or 2 suits that was the enemies were like targeted on you. So there was one GM sniper that was like getting destroyed by the AI Zaku cannons that I had, and it was just like aiming right at me behind the building while it was like getting hit. knocked over and everything else, and it would stand up and aim at me behind the building until it died. And I'm like, I see you there. As soon as I peek, I'm getting stunned. And then like the worst one though was that ground GM, the raid one that we got from clan matches, one with the railgun.
Mm.
And the thing is, its railgun bullet is faster than you being able to fire the Efreet Jaeger's sniper rifle.
Oh yeah,
So
that thing is
I
like
was
hit
like,
scan almost.
okay, well you knocked me down, so I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna shoot you. So then I was like, as soon as I pulled the trigger for it to fire, I
Immediately
got
comes out.
instantly railgunned before I could even do my commit stance and fire the sniper. So like,
Yeah, I mean, this, but the counters are like a good tell of that. Like the AI is definitely like on point with their input reads and stuff like that.
yeah. So
I do say in that regard though, I thought it was interesting. Like it's they'd like a weird mix, you know, because we were talking about when Volume 1 came out. I was like nobody counters, and then it's like they heard us for Volume 2. As if like everybody and their
still the
mom was
AI
countering
counters,
in
though.
Volume 2,
the AI don't
and
counter,
then
though.
like what?
Like anything
The only
that's not a
person
boss.
that countered was like Lilith.
Yeah,
that
Lilith
I
is
saw.
the only thing that counted.
Right, in Volume 1. But like in Volume 2,
No,
I
I
was
mean,
getting
in
countered
Volume
by
2.
bots. I don't know. Maybe I was just having
you
some
doing
weird
the
instances, but
simulator?
I got no in the normal game. I was getting countered by the normal bots in Volume 2 because I remember thinking like, man, they really like got them countering out here now, because I would walk up to people and like try to hit them, and I was getting countered by
Okay,
mooks in the normal gameplay.
I kind of want screenshot or it didn't happen on that one. Like
Yeah,
I am
'cause, like,
slamming X
I remember
right now.
when I was facing Lilith, and she actually countered after I blew out her legs. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, I was
Wait
like,
a
oh my gosh, she
second.
countered.
Hold
There's
on now.
finally one in Volume 2. They finally put a
Like,
counter
actually,
in the
let
story.
me shoot from the
Yeah,
outside
I need
real
to
quick
look,
on
but
this one.
like I was getting, I'm pretty sure I was getting countered by normal outside of the simulator in Volume 2.
Yeah,
But it feels
simulator,
like
they don't give a
they
fuck for
peeled
sure.
back a little bit in Volume 3.
Yeah, I didn't get countered a single time from all three unless it was Lilith. Lilith was the only thing that countered. Actually, I don't even know if the Spartan countered me. Or
No,
the
typically they
Fell
were just
Riders.
stun chaining because they would just like focus.
Yeah, but I mean, I just ran at things in the story mode because I was just like, why am I shooting at you? You don't counter. I'm just smack. Like that was normally my mistake. I'd be like, oh, I failed this one. Oh wait, I was shooting. Duh, bunga. But I mean, that was my biggest complaint with the AI is like they just didn't counter. They pretty much, the game for melee and counter is kind of its own balance right there, right? So like being able to just not be countered is disgusting. So I don't know. I kind of wanted to see, maybe not like the Char fight levels of dodge
Oh
rolling
my
and
gosh, Char
hitting
was
you and
disgusting.
moving around and being like smack and
Bro.
comboing you and everything. Like maybe not that because everything's turned to, they started twisting the knobs
Like
and they
literally,
broke the
I
knobs.
just had to cheese that match. There was no way for me to fucking.
Yeah, I pretty much just shotgunned him down with the IMO goof.
I one shot Char, so
The
I don't have much
Daku,
to say.
whatever. I keep calling
Yeah, good old
Alma's
Emblem
thing
is
the
just
goof.
constantly that one guy in the forums that's just like, yeah, had no problems, don't worry about it, didn't experience that.
Well, see, the funny thing is, I got to be
You
that
turn
with
it
the
on
Johnny
and off.
Ryden.
I really don't understand what's going on. Like, all right, okay,
Yeah,
that's
was
fine. Why are you
was
here?
your
Then?
mobile
Like,
suit
yeah,
plugged in?
fuck.
Well, like he said that with the first one, I was like, well, I tried to do it with like the half cannon, so I was trying to support things. And then I just went to Alma's suit and won because shotguns are BS. But then like the Johnny Ryden one, Emblem, you said you had issues with that one.
I did do 2 tries.
Yeah, that one I one
I
shot. I was like, what is Emblem talking about? This was easier than anything. I just was like, get over here, you're dead, lol. But yeah. Okay, well, actually, wait, no, I think I technically did 2 tries, but it was because I wanted to do it with the support Dom. I wanted to do it with the silly suit and be like, yeah, I did it with the Dom support thing, the Zadomal support.
This is dumb.
And I was like, Okay, no, this was a bad idea. Okay, let's just do this. I'm gonna one shot this with the Titania. I was like, wow, that
Takes your
Emblem have
maid.
did Emblem have trouble with this? What did he mean? This was like I just was like, you're dead. Cool, move on.
And I guess it depends if 2 tries is trouble, but yeah, I hear you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the game really wasn't like unless there was something BS happened, then like it wasn't difficult. My problem with it.
Mhm.
Again, yes, video game masochist here talking, but
Yeah.
still, at the same
Also,
time,
literally, while you were talking about how you were disappointed in the AI, everyone else in your chat was like, "No, it's actually kind of tough. I was having trouble with that, and I still played just as much." Like, what do you thought? What do you mean?
I mean, like yeah,
No,
that
yeah,
happened.
you got dunked on during that chat. I was in there. Don't act.
That's funny. And then yeah, so the AI could have been tuned better, and that's another thing. I feel like they tried to make it better, but they didn't fully get it. I don't know. That's why I feel
Well,
like
there's an obvious decision, right? Because the simulator AI was the same, and they also had some pretty ball stopper like challenges in there, Char, yada 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 for the aces. So they wanted it to be tough, especially once you get to like the EX one. The EX one is like sheer numbers and like just some pain in the ass scenarios because you're doing it literally by yourself unless you're near that one building or whatever where the other
even
two
then
are.
they hardly ever
Yeah.
helped. Yeah, that
So
was still kind of rough. But I mean, the music, the
so
OP
most of
kicks in, man. You
those
get a buff. You get an instant buff when the OP kicks in, dude.
mm.
Like,
So I would say like most of the challenges or the way the AI was like by design.
Can I say I was a little bit sad that they didn't have the vocals for the opening theme?
yeah,
Section?
I was wanting to. I was like wanting to sing it the entire time. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Oh, it's so good. I love the OP, dude. Like as soon as it starts,
Oh yeah.
I thought it did have it. I thought
no,
it
it
did
didn't.
during this scenario.
It didn't. Sadly,
Hmm.
it was the one in the gallery that I've been using as my like outro song.
Ah, okay.
Like literally, if I have my PlayStation on, I'm like,
You're
hang on,
just
guys, real
playing
quick,
it. Like
launch code fairy. Okay, gallery done. So yeah, guys, next time we're gonna be doing this. Here's stuff thing block, you know. And I'm like, yeah, this OP
Well,
is
let's
so
go.
good, dude. I love it.
I
It's great.
I just want to add though, I think the ally AI was pretty good. Like every time I was playing a game, I felt like I was in a match of GBO2. Um like they did
Okay,
a really
I
good
was
job
like,
of
I love
simulating
how
like
that
I was like,
immediately got
wait a minute.
raucous laughter.
I
Like,
was,
hold
oh
on.
my gosh, I was like, you were complaining about Volume
Wait.
1 about getting shot in the back. What are you even talking about, Emblem? I'm about to call
yeah, it's
you
just like a
out.
real game.
And then you were
Is
like,
your
it was
teammates
very well simulated. And I'm like, oh yeah, yes it was. Quite. Yes, yes. I concur.
they did a
As a
good job of
connoisseur of salt and shitty teammates,
yeah.
we can all come together and say it's quite accurate.
I concur.
I will say, like one of the, I forget what boss it was. It might have been one of the writers, but we got like a 7 or 8 chain between me and the AI. That felt amazing.
Yeah, if you actually told them
Like,
to go and like target
like
things,
get it.
yeah, they actually wouldn't shoot you in the back as much. But if you're like, help me, they were like, okay, boom. Like, did you ever
Help
do that, Emblem? Did you ever
Team
tell them to
Stagger
go
got
get
it.
him?
Honestly, I kind of forgot that existed. So I would target things and put the circle on them for the damage buff, but I almost never use the D-pad commands.
Yeah, I told them every time to go get him because then they'd just be like, okay, we're in front of you now. And I'm like, yes. So then I'd be like smacking the enemy that would be in front of me and they would be behind shooting them in the back. And I'd be like, okay, no big deal. But yeah, like every time I would be like, why is this so hard? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to turn. Like I almost lost the right before the mission, right before you actually fight the 2 Pale Riders and the Spartan, where
Mhm.
there's like that volley of like 10 GMs they just drop on your face, and it's like,
Like,
oh,
hello.
I might ought to use the decoys and actually capture a point to heal for this part. Oop, and I think I did actually the second time. But
Yeah.
I saved all my abilities and stuff, and I got to the end of that, and like I forgot to set them on go get them, and the second time around, and they were just shooting me in the back, and I was like, please, I just healed myself. I'm gonna fail this again. No, because I just like got stunned by Helena like 3 times in a row. I'm like, I would have already
This
ended
is what
this.
happens when you put a character who should have been the raid into a support role. That's what that is.
Right.
She's like, I don't need that priority when I'm back here. On my back though.
But
Yeah, I was so happy when they took Mia out of the tropical. I was so tired of getting hit by those
oh
down
my
swings,
gosh.
man.
Hey, that was very accurate though too. That's like when a support goes into a general. When I play the tropical, I'm normally knocking everybody over.
Well, I mean,
I mean, that's
any
just
like,
tropical gameplay in
yeah,
general.
about to say if you're a tropical main, you're knocking people over too.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like, this
I'm
is where
pretty
my
sure
damage
you.
is. Fuck off and stay out of my way.
Yeah, I think you lose rival points in suits like that if you don't knock down a few teammates during the game.
Yeah, man, because you gotta get that damage. You gotta finish out those suits. Otherwise, you're just sitting there like a dumbass hoping that you do stuns into your machine gun and that you can actually get shit going. Like, no. You gotta get some melee in there. If you're not neutraling people, you're just plowing through an entire altercation and hoping for the best.
Dude, when you hit a raid with that downswing though, like oof, that is that is sexy damage. But anyway,
Oh, for sure.
so I guess let's talk about the simulator though, and then we'll go ahead and start talking about scores, things, and overall summary of stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, the simulator. The cost part thing was like, okay, I guess just a GBO2 match with AI, which was kind of cool. But for a second, I thought it was on rails, and I think you had that too, Emblem, when the raid just kind of when you push that hill there on the mountain, and then like that raid GM light just comes up and is like, "Sup, bro?" Keeps pushing you. Do you remember
It's
that?
like,
I don't remember. I
aha.
don't remember what you're talking about. What mission again?
In Volume 1, the first like the in the cost one, the middle section where you just do where you pick whatever suit you want and you just go in.
We're talking about the simulator fights.
Yeah. Was that the train?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
Oh
train
my
passing by.
gosh, it had this weird echo coming through
It
your
sounded
mic.
like someone hit a symbol or something.
Yeah, it was like that mixed with like some welling banshee or something. I was like, dude, what in the world? You've got like some like Cthulhu monster in your
I
house
mean, you
there.
got dog aggro. He has train aggro. Like, what do you?
Well, no,
Yeah,
no. I mean, like it sounded like train, but it sounded cool. Like, I mean,
I
it
just have a Cthulian horror playing the drums in my
yeah, it was like,
apartment.
like it actually sounded kind of terrifying. I was like, what? Bro? It was actually pretty awesome. Like,
But yeah, I don't recall. The only thing I remember about the simulators besides bodying Char is hating my life when I picked the support because no, my generals wouldn't stop the raids.
well, that's what I was
Um,
saying. Like, I think you picked the support in that round, or you whatever you picked. I just remember stopping by into your stream when you were doing the simulator stuff, and like when you went up
mhm.
to the top of that hill on mountain right there in the first one, like literally that GM light just charged you, and every time it
Oh, I
just
think
seemed to
you're
charge
thinking
you.
of the Akai one because that's the only one I could think of where I played Mountain. But I remember there was like right by the base there's a GM light, and I made it past it like once, but most of the time, like whenever I pop out of the cave, it'd just be like you and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
come at me.
Die. Like, damn.
I just remember seeing people in your chat being like, so did they program it to where the GM light just kills the support every time or something like that, right? And then like,
Mm.
and then I was like, it's just programmed to go after whoever's the closest coming over
Yeah.
that part of the hill, which is normally how everybody plays GBO2 Mountain at that point. So that was the thing. Like so, it seemed like it was, but I'm glad that it was just like, they kind of just randomly target whoever because I played support, of course, and I was like, take the melees, AI, please.
Assist me.
And of course, can't like actually call for help the AI game, so it was a little weird. But then I just played a general, and when he charged me, I was like, oh, he's still just charging me, even though so he's just targeting whoever's at this area. Got it.
That'd be kind of cool if you could actually do some of the callouts and have them change like what they're doing.
right? That'd be kind of cool. But
It would probably set you up for a false pretense in GBO2 though.
they couldn't do that because it's
No
not accurate.
expectations. You can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not an accurate simulator. Come on. But I saw it charge me when I was a general, so I was just like, oh, okay, so it's not actually. But that was the cost thing is just kind of meh. I mean, it's kind of cool just to have. Like, I know there's a lot of people who would like to
battles
play.
for the simulator.
Yeah, I know a lot of people just
For
like to
anyone
have
who
an
ever
AI match.
gets, for anyone who ever gets put in a like timeout in GBO2 on accident, you can just always go
Just
in
say,
and
there you
matches.
go.
You got gameplay on the screen, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
But the actual little simulation stuff, some of them range between like the little, like sneak and bomb the base or whatever, right? Like those were pretty cool. I like the just like some of them were kind of meh, right? It was just like go steal the suit and kill the thing in front of you 3 times.
I wasn't a huge fan of that one.
Yeah.
Like that was just like
It
meh.
took me a while to get to S because I didn't realize I needed to like be out of my suit in a certain amount of time. Like the first time I did it all, I literally got timeout.
Yeah.
I got timer scammed on my S because I didn't switch over to the Grandpa Gundam backup that they give you in time.
Yeah, like as soon as it's there, it's like you got to switch now instantly, and it's like,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like that was the kind of thing. There's like kill the thing in front of you as fast as you can and swap to the new suit that they throw out to you. Go. But yeah, I almost I caught it barely. I was just like, wait a minute, what? could I have failed that if I just like took a millisecond longer? Holy crap, dude. But yeah, some of them were kind of meh. Like the skill on that, like that was easy. There wasn't really anything there. It was just like, yo, you can capture suits. Do this in GBO2 if you ever play that. You might want to do that.
Brought to you by GBO2, which you should probably be playing. Did we mention?
Yeah, right.
Surprised they didn't just have like rolling ads after the missions. Like there you go. the world acclaimed 2-time winner of the PlayStation Partner Award, GBO2.
Right. Oh, also the I guess the best one though is definitely the Char and the Johnny Raiden. And did you fight yourself as Alma?
Yeah, I honestly think that's the nastiest one.
That's
of the,
the grossest
3.
one. Yeah.
Alma is like way meaner than Char, Johnny, and Shin Matsunaga combined, man.
And she's only like a partial new type, which is ridiculous. Like, what the fuck? Slayer's doing all kinds of ridiculous shit.
Yeah, that was it's the weapon loadout, dude. And like that is gross.
It didn't help the first time I did it. I was playing a White Rider, so she did like bonus damage to me, but like,
right.
Oh god,
just so much fucking damage, man. Just everything hurt.
I was like, well, yeah, I was trying to do different things, and I was just like, okay, back to the thing. But yeah, as far as those boss fights though, essentially, I'm like that's the best part of the game for me, right there. Maybe because it is masochist things going right now. But at the same time, like that's what I wanted hard mode to be, and also let me play hard mode without having to play normal. For goodness sake, that was another thing. I was just like,
but the rewards you gotta make you spend the time in the video game.
If hard mode was actually hard and kicked me in the teeth, then sure, then I'll slog through it a second time. But yeah, but they just added numbers again, which was just not really difficulty. You're playing the lottery not to get stunned by supports 400 times in a row and explode. But
here, one thing I wanted to, just on a different note, because I mean we already talked about the difficulty a little bit. Gustav, a conversation that me and you can have. How'd you like the haptics and the screen or the controller speaker stuff in Code Fairy for the PlayStation 5?
I have all of it. I have all of it turned off actually. So.
Oh, you turn it off? I left it on for Code Fairy. Like I didn't mind it as I needed it off for normal GBO2, but I liked it on for Code Fairy. I
Do
love
they do
Fire
any
Emblem.
extra stuff on the speaker for Code Fairy though? Because that would probably be the more interesting thing
Now
of the
that
two,
one
I
I'm
would
not sure.
assume.
I turned the speaker off so it wouldn't have like weird audio reverb or whatever
Yeah.
on my mic. But it felt extra satisfying when I was holding the R2 button down on a support with the missile launcher on the Haimozaku. It was very good.
That's cool. But yeah, I turned all that off immediately just because I just needed the actual feedback, the normal feedback for the buttons and stuff.
Yeah, sometimes the haptic inputs make it harder than it needs to be. Like I remember when I was first talking about it, it's like jammed a button, like just charge the damn beam rifle, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
it's like if I can, how the
Fire
hell
that
am I getting
bitch.
finger string for fucking holding down a charge? Like, what the hell is this? Am I gonna have to get one of those hand crunchers or whatever to fucking like start exercising my hands grip? Like, what the fuck's going on?
You gotta game hard, buddy.
I already had to whip on gloves for some of the bar stuff when I was doing Fist of the North Star because I had to like use the palm of my hand to like spin the right controller. That's why I go through controllers so fast. I gotta stop playing those games.
My R2 is pretty worn out of my PlayStation 2 or 5 controller
Yeah.
because of Battle Op and stuff.
Same.
And Tales of Rise. The roll buttons on there, and I was rolling a lot. So it's like loose now.
R2 in the face buttons. I mean, honestly, everything on this because like you're doing all these weird like doing the antenna shit with your left and right stick for the movement, and you're looking. It's just like ugh, deja vu.
With PS4 in mind, speaking of PS5, there were a
How was
couple
the
of
performance
actual
in general? Actually,
yeah, there was a couple of frame drops.
yeah, I kind of noticed that when I think I was watching, well, you, but also Aoshi too, at the time.
I
Yeah.
think I only ever noticed frame drops in episode 3 for me, but it's pretty
You mean
smooth for
Volume
the most
3?
part.
Or
Or yeah, volume 3, episode 3,
When
same
yeah,
thing. But I
when was
got
that?
you.
Because like I
the
probably
end when there was
had some,
everything.
but like yeah,
I'd have to look.
The one I was talking about, the fight, the mission right before you fight the two Pale Riders and the Spartan, where that big drop of stuff came in. Like I was having input lag, there was frame lag. It was just awful.
damn.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I don't know if it looked smooth on stream, but I was straight looking at my TVs, just straight up what was getting put on the TV. Not even the remote play. It wasn't remote
It
play
is a little
issues. It was
unfortunate
like
because like even on PS4 when you're doing like the practice and stuff, typically you get more frames.
yeah, that's why I can combo with the Pixie LA actually, and then when I'm trying to do it in game, it's like I got one scoop de whoop finally, yay! But even when
But yeah,
it's
it
like
seems like I had some performance issues a little bit.
yeah, so I'm curious to see if they just like there's a lot of games these days that are still where there's been shortages and stuff. They're like even stuff they're talking about they're going to come out with that's like starting development. They're even saying like, well, we're probably going to do a PS4 version or a Xbox One version, and it's like
Oh god, yeah.
just I mean that's cool and all, but at the same time I wouldn't
Maybe don't
mind
get that
if you
one.
guys just stop trying to do both because either it's gonna kind of diminish the game for the top end maybe a little bit,
Yeah. Well,
or
it's
just
what
it's
you mentioned
unplayable.
though, right? Because like we're at the point where the literal government is trying to thwart holiday scalpers because things have just gotten so bad.
Exactly.
Oh sure. I finally taken action. That's cool. I haven't been keeping up.
I haven't paid to what's going on exactly, but I heard about that.
Yeah, there's an article that got us chat about it earlier in the week. And it's gotten a lot of haha reacts in general just because
Yeah,
it's that bad.
but
Which is funny because like other countries do it pretty normally. Always hear about the UK like not even only going after like scalpers, but like at their entire businesses and companies over shit like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I forget where the one was that like they're another country I believe that got like 3,000 PlayStations or whatever that they were bragging about.
Oh god, yeah.
Like, I was hoping them bragging would kind of get some things moving, but
What, like a gang of raiders going in there? Like, what do you expect?
well, I
Kick
mean,
some
like
scalpers' doors in.
they just start getting penalized in the sense of like, of course this is a little bit different than somebody getting a game console, but like how when COVID first hit, the hand sanitizer guy that was like in what, Tennessee or
Oh
wherever.
yeah. Hand sanitizer guy and then toilet paper.
There's one for
Yeah,
toilet
Yeah.
paper
and then
too,
the
right?
toilet
Yeah.
paper, yeah, like how
The
they just got
sanitizer one was
completely,
pretty filthy, but the other one was just kind of goofy.
and then they were just like, everybody was just like, are going to get wrecked for doing this.
You were being thoroughly dunked on.
Yeah, so like I was kind of hoping, with that kind of getting some spotlight, being like, by the way, this is kind of happening with game consoles too. I know that's not as important as this other stuff, but hey, please help. We
It's
might,
more important now because it's the holidays, so
yeah.
think of the children.
Think of the children and their
There
video
you
Think
go.
of the
games,
childrens.
and everybody else that plays video games.
They don't count. They're not real.
We don't
Go out and
exist,
get a
guys.
job, bitch. Why
We
are we
don't
on this?
exist.
Stop doing this podcast. Go make that bread instead.
But anyway, but yeah, so PS4, not bad, but there was that one mission was bad. Everything else was like at least on par with the normal GBO2 experience.
Hmm. Yeah, I
So,
can go with it.
but okay. Anything else gameplay wise you can think of?
I'm ready for
No.
the Encounters in Space Battle Operation remake.
Yeah. I think that's just what I want overall.
Yes.
Like, this is a really good showing. I'm glad that this wasn't just a precedence for future things. If we do get future things, like I feel like it stands pretty well on its own. But this is a pretty good time for them to start doing a lot of those side stories and shit. I wouldn't be mad.
Okay, so I had to make sure that I didn't spell that, but oh well. If it's misspelled, then it's just misspelled.
Yes,
But anyway,
spelled there wrong.
Code Fairy review scores. So let's do it by volume and then overall. So
Out of what?
10.
Okay.
So I guess kind of the way I'm kind of thinking about it is, out of other Gundam games I've played, I'm kind of comparing it to that, as well as just like just slightly overall, but so I guess as
We
far
call it
as,
like single player games because,
yeah,
like, for me, it's just the Dynasty Warriors, like four of those, and I literally have only played Crossfire. I feel like the hurdle's not very,
I've actually
not
never
very
played
large.
Crossfire. For me, it would be more based on like also that, but also what was it Rise from the Ashes? That was over on Dreamcast. I played that. Some of the stuff on PS2. I didn't actually do Encounters in Space, or I did a little bit of it, but I didn't get too deep into it.
yeah, I had my new type factory. You guys remember that?
Oh, I remember you were breeding new types.
Yeah, I was straight up new type factoring it over here, and yeah, so trying to get because Encounters in Space had that cool thing to where you could like make a character that would rival Amuro better. I think you could actually get better than Amuro if you technically had like the perfect run.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, get the player behind the console. I'll bully Amuro in a video game.
But yeah, so I did Encounters in Space, add the versus stuff to that. But my thing is I've always liked the GBO kind of gameplay because it's
It's
I
just a
just,
really good engine.
yeah,
Like,
I love the shooting out of it. So for me, that's the gameplay I've been looking for. Even if it's that only first person, that would work too. Either or though, I'm fine with. And yes, that's kind of, the gameplay is probably my most favorite out of Gundam games that I've played. So with that in mind though, as far as the volumes themselves, what do you think you would rate volume 1 as a Volume 1 package.
I like a 7. I think it set up the characters pretty well. The tutorial stuff wasn't really for me. It's also actually on a quick side note for that though, like it's weird that they threw in some things super late into volumes 2 and 3 in terms of tutorial things, or like like from a story perspective, Alma coming back, it kind of made sense for her to get the rust off and whatnot, but for the player, it's just like, bro, if I haven't figured this out intuitively, or just know this from the game, like GBO2 itself, then like something is severely wrong.
I feel like for the most part, the tutorials were at least somewhat relevant, except for the first one in Volume 3. Like the mine tutorial was there was no mine tutorial when you did the first Christmas part or the first Halloween thing.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
they just
why did it
explained it in
exist
the
in
mission
3?
itself.
I think that tutorial was kind of pointless. That should have been our space mission tutorial.
Suddenly we just go out into space and like, we gotta protect the orbits.
Yeah, why are we in space? Reasons. We got to protect the Earth from alien threats or something. Like, for some reason, just get out there and fly around. But I'm probably right there with you, Gustav. I think, I think 7. I'll say an 8. I think I liked what they were doing. I'll say an 8 for Volume 1 personally.
For me, I think it was a solid start. Definitely, again, I would say as far as the Gundam gameplay, it's definitely a little bit better than average for what I've seen in Gundam games. Um, Story was solid, definitely better than what I was expecting. I was expecting the story for me was like probably 7 or 8, but again, the gameplay with the AI, yeah, maybe like wanting more out of that. I'll go with a 6. I'll go with a 6. I kind of want to go with a 5, but I think I'll go with a 6. Yeah, because it's definitely above average for me. But now Volume 2, I'll go ahead and go first to segue off of what I was just talking about. I think adding a little more gameplay elements, getting the newer suits, story progressing, you know, uh, seeing the Pell Riders being like, "Whoa, what are they gonna do? Oh my gosh!" And then the ending and the cliffhanger in the second one, I'm like, "Oh yeah, dude, yeah, story's even better. Let's go." And that one I'm gonna have to go with a 7 because it definitely upped the bar. And then I was curious to see if they could stick the landing. So yeah, story was even better. Gameplay was even better. AI still was the same, of course, but as far as improving, they definitely improved in Volume 2. So yeah, I'd have to go with a 7 on that one.
Yeah, I would stick with that. Because at that point, like, everything was coming together a lot more. The suits were pretty nice, but overall, like, the missions were better, but it was a little bit more of the same on some of them.
At the big tank boss fight too, I forgot we didn't really mention that,
Yeah,
but
the
in
tank
Volume
boss
2,
fight was
the
pretty
tank
cool.
boss fight was awesome. Let's go,
We
dude.
needed more stuff like that, real talk.
Yeah, real talk. The first time I saw the
Like if
big
fucking
tray,
if Jert what is it, Rise from the Ashes can get its own Adzam boss, we should have got one too. Like something similar to that. Just some big craft or like other bomber.
yeah, I thought we were gonna fight the big tray in Volume 1, but
Yeah, they
got the
did a
heavy
good
truck
job to make
instead.
you fight the ship instead in Volume 2. Because I'm
Mhm.
right there with you. I was sad when the big tray fight started, or when the big tray showed up and they were just off in the background and we didn't get to fight them.
It's like, shit.
So that was a good touch on Volume 2.
That dude was just like, take the generals, support me, and he just backed up. Like, no, not today.
Gotta go.
So yeah, what was your score, Gustav, for Volume 2?
Also a 7.
What about you, Emblem?
I'll stick with my original. I think I think I think my overall will be like an 8 for all 3 volumes. Honestly, individually, I like them. I'm a simple man though. I see waifus, I like waifus, you know.
Okay, so then that's your volume 3 as well.
Yeah, I'll lead volume 3 if an 8 also.
Say volume 3 would be an 8 for me because like just a lot of the escalation, like the new characters' suits were pretty cool, even if the character itself, Renato, was kind of lame. But like, it's fine. He
Yeah.
just had to be scummy. He did what he needed to do.
He was just reading his script, right?
Yeah. He was just giving us a bunch of flags for his character. That's fine.
Yeah, for me, that's going to be the weakest part, weakest story out of the 3.
It's the weakest part, but it had a pretty fucking sick suit. So like, the Spartans were
Yeah.
cool. They were annoying to deal with, but like design-wise, it's nice to have them in a game. And like the Gundam head Spartan is also really neat. So
I think story was maybe the weakest, but the ending was good. And that's the most important thing. I wondered how it was going to stick the landing. So I like the ending, the little thing at the end with Gilly being, just on vacation at the end. Was kind of funny. But like, and I guess we can talk about that a little more just at final thoughts here in a second. But the gameplay still was pretty solid. Definitely not as good as 2. I think I'm gonna have to go back to about where it was with 1 in that case, with just having extra gun, but also the Spartan being a thing was pretty cool. Still really confused about them introducing that character and also the red shirts being in the Bell Riders. That was
yeah,
weird.
that's super goofy.
And,
Also, yeah,
chat was just
Killy
talking
pulling
about
a
that too.
Killy pulling
I
a
think that's the
Batman
weakest
was
one of
really
3.
funny.
Yeah. So like, I'm like, I wanted a tragedy, so I would say a 6 again, but I'm just so it averages out to be a 6. I'm gonna say 5 this time again, or 5.5. There we go.
Yeah, Magnum didn't get his espresso.
Yeah,
It's
right.
okay.
But yeah, and also because of the rider pilots, even though the suits look kind of, well, however they look is beside the point. I'm not really hung
Yeah,
up on that, but
they're goofy as fuck, but
yeah,
it would have been cooler if they actually had real pilots and not just some dude.
yeah, like if they
You
actually
know
had a
what though?
story element.
Big ups to Black Rider pilot for being like, no, fuck this character. You get to
Oh
get
yeah, that
scrubbed.
was
Just like,
actually, I
come
was
here,
like,
bitch.
red shirt going ham, let's
He's like,
go, dude.
I might be a red shirt, but I ain't going out like no bitch. Except that the other dude survived, so you know.
Yeah, he
Damn
somehow
it!
Right.
survived, and then like his limping back in at the end there was like,
I kind of wasn't expecting that, and yet at the same time, it's like they introduced him in this chapter. He's probably not going to be completely gone, but like
yeah,
it was kind of shitty. That was a dumb like Gus used back just to like escalate it. We already had Lilith. Lilith was gonna have her big thing there too because they were going there. Like we didn't need this dude. They just wanted to like double down on him just getting shut down at the end.
yeah. Well, and also him just
Like,
kind
we
of
get it. He's a
showing up.
dickhead.
Yeah, it's just like him just showing up there at the end to kind of like change the Lilith. I was just like, man,
Yeah,
that
it's
was
just
very
extension.
rushed.
See, Lilith's a good girl
Soft
now.
makes a
It's
good
okay.
point. How did he limp that mobile suit like
I
hundreds of
know.
miles to
Like
get
there was a
there?
huge explosion and he limped
It would
it
have to
miles, dude.
not only that, but it would have had to have been like at least another day or so of him just limping while hurt.
Yeah, like he's like probably bleeding, like in the like what? Yeah, that was the thing. I'm like, ow. I think that's what I said. I was like, what? Ow. I'm pretty sure something like that. Because I was
I'm
just
back
like,
in there.
man, red shirt did something awesome, dude.
It
Like I was like, yeah, Black
was all
Rider was
in vain.
amazing. Except for
Damn,
not.
they denied him his moment.
Yeah.
What a bunch of jerks.
Rest in peace, Black Rider. But yeah, so I would have to say my final overall score would be a 6. I think definitely my favorite gameplay out of the Gundam games, but that's for me not a hard bar to like really
Yeah,
jump
it's
over.
not a hard hurdle.
And story though was good. I was really surprised. Again, even in volume 3, the closest thing we got to like a beach episode thing was the lake
The lake
episode.
moment.
And I was just like, cool. Like they kept the fan service to a minimal. There's the Moe stuff, but I expected that at the very least. So, I can deal, and the tragedy story would have definitely made up for that. But yeah, um, the story was pretty good. Like if we had an OVA of this, I'd probably be like a 7 or something overall for the story, maybe an 8, somewhere between there.
Yeah.
But
One day, maybe. We'll see.
yeah,
Well, depending on how well the manga does too, right?
yeah, I'm
Like if
curious
it
to see
does well
that.
enough, they might actually get like an adaptation of that, or maybe just an OVA because of that in celebration. That'd be neat.
I'm definitely gonna check out the manga.
Are you sure they would do that though? I mean, we still have Crossbone.
I mean, they would. I mean, if you want to talk about that, we also don't have the rest of Thunderbolt, but still, oof.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm just more saying like there's a
Then
bunch
again,
of stuff
they
I feel like
also
this is more
gave it.
relevant right now.
They
popular,
also
right?
gave it to Battlelog,
Yeah, I feel like
and
this is
that
more
was like,
relevant, I guess, right? As of now, anyway.
if
Like,
it's tied to a game, maybe it has a better chance. But otherwise, yeah, probably not.
I will say the animation scenes were. I guess we didn't really talk about that too much, but
Some of them were pretty good, and
Yeah.
then there were a lot of background things where they just had dotted eyes and lines for mouths, and I was like, oh no. People are gonna take these screenshots and throw them up on some out of context Twitter, and everyone's gonna laugh.
and then like the CG models though was like worse than what we have in the like lobby
Actually, you
area.
know what? I'm glad that they had their own style though, because if they were in the lobby style, they would have looked horrifying. The lobby models look ugly as fuck.
Okay, yeah. If I saw the lobby models talking, I'd probably. Well, I don't know. Do they do here? I guess they do a little bit, but I guess if they zoomed in on
They
them,
look pretty fucking bad. Like
I
the
guess if they
character
zoomed
ones
in on 'em.
obviously don't use the same and like models or textures as the ones for the players. Like there's no way.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it was kind of funny seeing the cool animation and then the CG and then the like just generic 2D art thing that would pop up for their character all at the same
It's
time.
also very funny that they like even though they were on an Earth campaign, they constantly had their helmets on as pilots.
Right? Did Ian have one on? Like I was like, I know Ian had like his uniform like half unzipped there. That
I don't think
No,
he
I
was
mean
ever
yeah,
out
for
of
the
his
cutscenes, but I mean
suit.
like in the game.
yeah. Well,
I
that's what
mean
I'm
like when
saying.
we were doing gameplay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did he actually have that for the like?
If anything, we need Ian's outfit because his looks a lot better than the Xeon outfit that we have in game.
Right? Let's go, dude.
Let's go. Fairy uniforms need to be in there because the ones we got by comparison are kind of dog
Right?
shit.
Like they should also put the hairstyles of the girls in.
Oh my god, yes! Please give that girl
Oh,
something to do.
Oh yeah, please.
Dahlia, please. They can just say that they know about them from some sort of leak or whatever. Technically, they're supposed to be scrubbed from the records, but you know,
But it's okay. It's a video game.
battle
like,
operation
where
will
do
know
we
everything.
do we
I mean,
find our
she's an
mobile suit?
operator already.
The
That's already
power of
broken.
social media.
She's already an operator.
Yeah.
It's broken. There we go.
This is on a Haro book or something or Haroverse, whatever Facebook's called now. Like,
You know what's kind of funny is that technically her as a support, they should all be like aged up too. Gilly should be like either in like her 20s or like 30s at that point.
Well, the 1 year
yeah.
war does messed up stuff to people, so we had to get the teenage version of her. Otherwise, she looked like
Yeah,
Castilia.
we had to pull an SRW
Oh my
and get her
god,
from a
she
DVD.
look like Castilia. Oh my god. Oh,
Oh my god, what a big
she's
Castilia.
she's just Cobra, right? Cobra Commander.
Sorry, the most I know about GI Joe is the little like the PSAs. So
Have you seen
Is it the actual ones or is it just
computer.
parody ones?
Yeah, I was gonna say the parody
Both.
ones. Help
Both.
computer.
I know about pork chop sandwiches and
me.
oh shit, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck
Fuck out.
Okay.
You idiots. Oh my god.
But anyway, so yeah, so that's our scores for Code Fairy. We got 6. Then Gustav had 7 and Emblem 8, right?
Overall.
Cool. Let's do final thoughts. And I was gonna save some of this for speculation, but I guess it would make more sense here. Do you think there's gonna be anything else? Do we think we're gonna get essentially, for better, I don't know, a better way to put it, but a volume 4 essentially, or something new with that launcher, since there is a launcher that takes you into the game? Will we get
I
new
hope
stuff?
so.
I think so.
But overall, just out of precaution, no.
Yeah, I hope so, but I mean, again, we've got
Probably
Dahlia
not.
in the game, and we've, it's
This
again,
game could just get Dahlia'd.
it could just be them doing their thing again. They
Yeah.
did something cool
Yeah.
that they could expand upon, and then
Let's pat on
Oh,
pat each other on the back and then be like, "Nah, this is just the project."
I would like to see more happen.
now
Yeah,
there's,
fingers crossed for sure.
I don't know if you guys got questions, but I know I got questions, especially on volume 1. Like
No, you don't.
that night was pretty lit as far as spamming questions. What did you guys think of the price for, say, a individual? Like, do they still have the standard and special edition prices out?
I haven't looked.
Because if you buy them all
Honestly.
individually, it's $60. But if you just buy them together, it's like what?
For the
Yeah,
standard.
I think it's cheaper to get
It's $20
them.
Yeah,
each.
standard's cheaper.
Or if
Yeah.
you get all 3, it's
I actually didn't know how much they were each because I was like, either I'm getting the standard or the deluxe, and I was definitely getting the deluxe for the extra shit. So
yeah, like if you're getting the deluxe,
I don't know,
you pretty much get all of them for the price that you would be paying for individually. So
And I can't say a whole lot. Thanks, Bandai Namco, for the free code for the video game. I was gonna put that out there. My playthrough of Code Fairy was the bill was
Trust me,
footed by
bye.
Bamco.
Must be nice.
actually, with you saying that, does that mean I have to like label the video sponsored now?
Yeah.
Shit. Well, no, because Bandai Namco isn't paying you anything.
I guess yeah.
But,
It's my channel and whatnot. Yeah, there we go. But which way?
But it
am I
wouldn't be
pointing my
sponsored
camera?
regardless. None of my content for Code Fairy has been sponsored. Bandai Namco did not pay me a dime
Well, technically,
to
giving
play the
out
video
a
game.
thing, giving out if
Yeah,
if
but
they
there's a
give you
difference between like disclosing that you received the game code and having sponsored content. My content is not. None of the
You
content
still-
was sponsored.
If you get sent a game code, you still have to check that box on YouTube if you make videos for
I
it.
feel ya. Like I don't know how to
That's
do
what
YouTube.
that's what I'm
but,
like. That's what I'm thinking. YouTube things. I'm like that.
Yeah, because
Right.
eventually the bot's gonna be over there too. But like, technically not because you didn't, just someone
Yeah.
who's a co-host. So I wouldn't worry about that too much.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
But anyway, the main thing though, it's price wise. I think it could be.
And it's fine.
Maybe $40 for them all. I think would be a solid thing rather than the 50 or the 60 if you bought individually. Like I think 40 would have been a good price. So, but yeah, what you think it's fine though, Gustav?
Yeah.
I mean, content wise, it was actually more, and getting that extra episode was actually kind of cool. So there was a decent bit there.
I'm constantly having to like consider the idea of just like, from my perspective of playing the free to play game, which is pretty much just like the entirety of the engine all the time, compared to someone who's just kind of getting it on the surface, who maybe hasn't even really bothered with GBO2 but just wanted a single player Gundam game. Like, I feel like they did a fair amount, and compared to like some of the other games I mentioned in terms of length,
Yeah.
in some places it had more, and the examples that did have more are fucking ancient.
Like you're
Like-
talking 9 to 15
Like
hours.
Zeta Gundam versus Zeta Gundam, or like Encounters in Space had a lot of side things too, and like Gundam versus Zeta Gundam in particular had those branching like scenarios and what ifs
Mhm.
on top of that. But that was also a billion years ago, so like
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to to say that with a straight face and not be like, yeah, take it with a grain of salt, because you're probably gonna have to either emulate it or just dig some shit up and hope that it works.
And also the again, that's one of the first things I said was like, I really wish I knew how I feel about this game, not having any clue how to play GBO at all, and have never played GBO2. Period. I really want to know what it would feel like playing this game then, as its own standalone player experience. Because that, I think, my score might be a point, maybe two higher, if I was just experiencing it. Because like I fell in love with GBO2 playing it the first time, so I'm like, you know, spending 12 hours a day playing that kind of thing, because I just love the gameplay so much. But see, I
thought your cam froze for a second, Magnum.
I was like, oh no.
Yes, sorry, I was in deep thoughts, sitting perfectly still, gaining my mental energy over here. But what? Now I lost my train of thought. No.
Oh jeez.
But yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think it would be interesting for to know somebody who had never played GBO at all, but has been a Gundam fan looking for more single player games. Like, that opinion would be interesting, because anybody who's played GBO already has some grasp of how it works.
Yeah.
And, you're playing against people is so much different. That's the other thing. I will say this. Playing against those AI, I expected, like, my brain just naturally was, like, muscle memorying things that I was like, oh no, they're going to do this next. Wait. They're running away or dancing in front of me instead. What's going on?
This man's wiggling. Is he shagging at me? No, that's just an AI.
Wait, this AI is teabagging me? What?
They program BM into the AI. I was saying it all the time. I get knocked down. It just be. I feel like I was in a match against Noob Sama, man. Going at it.
Yeah, every time I see somebody wiggle at me now, I'm like, Noob Sama in my game. Because here the other day he did that. He was like, yeah, I was the easy 8. I was like, oh, that explains the wiggle. But yeah, I should have put final thoughts there under the thing. But oh well, too late now. So any other final thoughts?
No.
Go buy Code Fairy for your PlayStation entertainment system.
Smile. By all means.
I'll just type that.
No, I was gonna add one more thing. For your time, I was like, man, I was gonna say something about what Magnum was just talking about. I could see some more of the hardcore, like, card carrying Gundam fans not liking Code Fairy because it's a little bit too, like, I mean, it's just the age it came out, and the story is very modern in regards to, like, full girl crew. They, like, check all those anime boxes. As a licensed weeb myself, I fucking love it. But I could see some people who could be like,
yeah, it wasn't always that mess.
This isn't my Gundam,
Yeah, there was definitely some of those comments, and I again, I like the tragedy.
Not
story,
my Gundam.
And I'm definitely not a fan of moe stuff or fan servicey stuff. So, like,
I will say though, Gundam's been doing stuff like that for a little bit. I mean, Puru's been around for a while. They've had their share of cute anime girls in the past, but
Puru's like my least favorite thing about.
It's uncomfortable as fuck. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, I mean, Puru's like, how old is Puru? And like, Tomino's got her running around like butt naked and then doing stuff.
You know what the fucked up thing is that if it was Tomino, like, that lake scene would have had them not in their fucking outfits. And by the way, all of them are like high school age, so yeah.
Right? Yeah, when I saw that scene, I was like, I know they got Tomino's name on this, but if he had a part of this,
damn well, if this is an OVA, they would have been. Yep.
Yeah. So.
Because at first I was like, oh no, wait a second, and then they breached the water. I was like, whew, okay, we're good. Oh god, I was on stream.
Tomino's name on here scares me a little bit, but we're fine. We're fine.
Ooh, we're good. Dodged
Maybe if
bullet.
Killy was like bathing with Uso or something, we'd have to worry about it.
No.
Oh no.
Where'd you get that bite mark from, Killy? I don't want to talk about it.
Did you get to that part in SRW, by the way, Gustav?
Yeah.
That mission was so good. They submit Uso to some kind of torture? Like, yeah, you gotta take a bath.
It's like, yeah, we don't talk about that. Man.
Uso saw boobies for the first time and he's just like, ah!
Get out of here.
I know.
I mean, the context is pretty
team...
bizarre and like tense too, right? Because it's like you're on enemy lines, you're literally in their facility, and there's just this chick who's got you all lathered up, and you're like,
I got you, Uso. Let's take a bath together.
Oh,
like,
hell
all
no,
right,
man. And then she tries to drown his ass, and I'm like, bruh, help, what are you doing?
Oh man,
that's a very scary form of waterboarding.
Booba boarding.
Yeah, booba boarding.
Oh no. But I will say though, I did get some comments wanting to see like, oh, where's the Gundam?
Where's my Gundam?
Like
yeah,
that.
that's what I was thinking was gonna be the thing, right? Like, oh man, what was this weird team that we fought or whatever? It's just Gundam shows up, Amuro kills like all of them.
The Gundam was the pixie. They found
was there a Gundam Ace fight?
No.
In the simulator?
There's a batch where you play against a bunch of different Gundams, but there's no like
not like a Char level.
combat.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing. That would have been an awesome one just to see how that would have turned out.
Yeah, I kind of wanted that a little bit in the simulator, but you know, they definitely favor Char, as you can tell, looking at the Yakuchiki Amuro compared to the Char thing that we got. Anyway. But
I don't know. I mean, there's the Char one kind of fell off after a while. I see it in space sometimes, but that's about it.
Yeah, fair enough. But the other comments I guess I got as far as that goes was
very good.
Damn. Well played. I was like, what? But yeah, I as far as like, you know, some people just wanted to see the tragedy just for the sake of just seeing them all die horribly, and I'm like, wait a minute.
You did. That's why you were sad.
Well, hang on now. See, I like a tragedy
I think Matt was talking in the standpoint of like, weebs like this game, and I want the weeb girls to die, kind of thing.
Yeah, like that's
more of what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's what, like, literally I saw a comment in Emblem.
You know what's weird is that like from my standpoint, the weebs are all the ones that are cringing and being mad about there being like an all-girl squad and like not having them die and shit.
Well,
so like that's my idea of like.
I mean, it's a little bit half and half, right?
Yeah, I guess it depends on what you're looking at. I feel like the
although maybe
like,
weebs try to distance themselves from like Gundam fans, so it's just like nah, it's not weebs, it's just heckin' Gundam fans.
Well, they can be too, right? But instead of like waifus, their waifus are like, you know, it's the same as Setsuna's waifus.
Please Steppy.
No, because I mean that like Hamon Please Steppy is like the same kind that I'm talking about. I'm more saying like they're more like, you know, oh man, the Zaku 3, like you know, like maybe those are the types that are more what Magnum's referring to. Well, how many bullets does he have in that clip again?
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's that Vince McMahon meme? Falling over in his chair or something. Yeah, pretty much. They buffed the missiles.
Oh, you got the gun. Oh.
They fixed the typo in the lore for the barrage. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, the game lock buff. The game lock. The game lock buff. Dude, for real though, the game lock buff.
The other one's over here like Dahlia does exactly what she needs to, which is nothing. Because
she has nothing to do with robots.
Yeah. If my character could be bald, I would be okay because it's not a Gundam, okay? Or a mobile suit.
I will say there was someone in my chat that immediately when we were talking about it was like, but also the mechanics, like if we just want to talk about the suits, they're pretty amazing. It's like, yeah, I know, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
But also the Gundam and the robots.
Yeah, I think when we were getting there, or when it was brought up, we were like not quite there yet, like you said, yeah. They do have some good suits though. The Tanya is very cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool suits.
Yeah, as much as I kind of dunked on some of the writers, I feel like the rest of them did really well with what they got. So,
but yeah, I guess to finish up the comment, but like the other thing too is like the tragedy part what I was gonna say as far as what I'm wanting. Again, I love like the Zack thing, like at the end, standing up fighting a bunch of dudes, like, and then getting filled with bullet holes at the end till he couldn't fight anymore, essentially, right? Like that kind of, that's what I was like, yeah, let's go, Alma, let's destroy everyone that we can, let's go.
yo, real talk in the manga though, that final EX fight when they're at Florida or whatever, that could be like that. They could actually do it like that.
Rewrite it or something.
Yeah, or just make it more dramatic.
That's true. Amuro dies in a novel.
That is very much a possibility.
That'd be interesting. I just, but like it was this close from like that happening. I was like, oh, is Alma just gonna? I was like, dude, right here, they're getting a plus point right here. If all three die, plus 2 points.
She gonna die.
But like that whole like last stand thing, I was like, yeah, let's go, dude.
Everyone's like, oh, we're finally getting it. The reach moment it's coming.
So I mean, which the thing is though, I think they handled it well though with how they ended. Like I will say, I think they handled it well, where it was like Lola stepped in. There was a moment of like, yeah, hey, we're just 2 people. What's up? How's it going? I think that was a nice little ending.
That's a very Gundam thing, right? Like both sides kind of coming together at the end and being like, yeah, fuck all that. We're just soldiers. Let's go.
So I was like, that works. It was a solid story. And then some people complained that there wasn't any big like whatever. I saw that on Reddit. Like, there's not no like big characters or big suits or whatever. And I'm like, yeah. I'll say this as an objective fact, even though it's definitely my opinion. But 8th MS Team is the best series ever. Fight me.
Well,
let's go.
I mean, aren't the characters big characters and big suits now? Like,
yeah, like that was the whole point, is that you're supposed to be like a legendary crew, but you just got Stardust memoried, so nobody knows.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, also like the cameo ones and stuff are kind of nice, but like we were saying before, they were like some dude that was in a game one time, or maybe had like a single piece of art or something. Like the hardcores will know. Everyone else is just like implied that they're strong.
Yeah.
But it does bring them into, like they actually have visuals and stuff now, which is nice. So they might get used in other things.
Because I think they had a lot of star power in Code Fairy, to be completely honest.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean
Amuro wasn't there, and there was no Char or anything like that. Like, nobody was into television series or whatever, but they had a lot of people with name tags that weren't created just for this game that were in there. It was just cameo-esque.
But like, I don't know. It was just one of those. Of course, I mean, again, that was on Reddit, so of course Reddit will be Reddit. But yeah, it's just kind of funny seeing some of the different things, and I'm just like,
they should have had Mika from IBO as a cameo in the simulator to fight Barbatos.
You're absolutely right.
Oh my gosh.
Hero Yui should have been the final boss. He should have been in the White Rider. Damn it.
Exactly. I mean, Hero Yui was in Gundam was in G Gundam too. I mean, why can't he be in Code Fairy?
Oh man.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, Fenrir Prilus got in there too, which is cool.
But yeah,
I thought it was cool how they mentioned a girl from Zimmerman, or maybe that's one Mia's from. But they mentioned what's her face, and she was at California base when they went.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool. Yeah, I was like, who is that?
Like that picture that they took at the base. This is a lot of side characters.
Like, what's with these two side characters over here?
For real, man.
Is this volume?
It was like
I want to see a post of like someone naming all of them and like lining them up from like left to right. Like that'd be cool.
Yeah, I saw those 2 characters. That one girl you're talking about. There was like a dude like next to her. I was like, who are those? Those seem like they've got a name. I'm just saying. Like, what in the world is that? Okay, cool. That they're just another 2 red shirts that just happen to have crazy hair or something. Okay, gotcha.
The one had like a Fetty coat too, and I was like, where did he get that? I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, who are what? So yeah, maybe we'll get more story in different directions. I don't know, but that would be cool. I doubt it, but you know, that come on, BB Studio, keep it going, please.
For the sake of not being wrong on the internet, I won't tell you for sure that we're gonna get one. But
If I had to place my money on something, it would be no. But yeah. So anything else? Any other final thoughts?
no, because it's almost been 3 hours.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's go ahead and talk about the suit that we didn't talk about from Volume 2. So the new suit,
Old Nomi.
Gnome,